بخیر.
سلام مسیحتون، اینجا اصفهانه.
چهارشنبه کرمانشاه. اینجا رامسره. من عصابه.
ما در تهران هستیم، مشغول پیاده روی بدون حجاب.
Welcome back. The Varanasi court hearing the Gyanvapi case today squashed the Muslim side's bid to delay the hearing in the case. The Muslim side had sought 8 weeks' time before going ahead with the Shringar Gauri case. And the court has ordered for the next hearing in the matter to be held on the 29th of September. In another development, the court has also issued a notice to the Muslim side on the Hindu side's plea for carbon dating of the Shivling and demanded objections from the Muslim side.
कोर्ट में विपक्षी द्वारा एक जवाबदेही दाखिल की गई। जो उन्होंने आपत्ति दिया था उसका उन्होंने खारिज हो गया। अब विपक्षी द्वारा आपत्ति आई, जवाबदेही दे दिए हैं और बादनी द्वारा एक कार्बन डेटिंग की जांच की प्रार्थना दिया गया।
जो हमारी एप्लीकेशन थी कार्बन डेटिंग की, कोर्ट ने उसमें नोटिस जारी किया है और 29 तारीख को कोर्ट ने मुस्लिम पक्ष से उनका ऑब्जेक्शन मांगा है, उसके डिस्पोजल के लिए 29 तारीख रखी गई है। साथ ही साथ जो उसमें पार्टी बनने की दरखास्त थी, कोर्ट ने उस पर हमारा ऑब्जेक्शन मांगा था, हमने दाखिल कर दिया है। 29 तारीख को उस पर कोर्ट अपना ऑर्डर पास करेगी।
सबसे पहले सुनवाई शुरू किया कि मुस्लिम पक्ष का जो प्रार्थना पत्र था कि ये सुनवाई 8 सप्ताह तक टाल दिया जाए, उसको खारिज करते हुए माननीय न्यायालय ने कहा कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का इस तरह का कोई आदेश नहीं है।
Let's get you quick news updates. A former Chinese justice minister was sentenced to death with a 2-year reprieve on charges of taking bribes and helping criminals, including his brother, to hide illegal activities. Leaders of South Korea and Japan agreed to accelerate efforts to mend ties frayed over Japan's past colonial rule of the Korean Peninsula as they held their country's first summit talks in nearly 3 years on the UNGA sidelines. Cambodia's UN-backed tribunal rejected the appeal of a genocide conviction by the communist group's last surviving leader in what is expected to be the special court's last session. During a video to the United Nations General Assembly, Zelensky called for a special tribunal to punish Russia for its aggression, which has left thousands of people killed, displaced millions and reduced towns to rubble. And well, after a Chief Minister versus LG in Delhi, Punjab is now turned into a political battlefield. The tussle over the governor's order thwarting the Aam Aadmi Party's plan to summon a special assembly session to bring a confidence motion snowballed into an all-out war between the Aam Aadmi Party and the opposition. A mega showdown was witnessed today in Punjab. On one hand, the Aam Aadmi Party workers took out a protest march to the Raj Bhavan carrying placards with messages of Stop Murder of Democracy and Operation Lotus Murdabad. And on the other hand, the BJP leaders launched a counter-protest march to the Chief Minister's residence. But their protest faced water cannons and detentions. Meanwhile, a defiant Bhagwant Mann called for a normal assembly session on September 27th, while the opposition turned the special session illegal and against the rules of the House. Aam Aadmi Party has vowed to move the Supreme Court against the governor's order.
पिछले दिनी विधान सभा ਦੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੱਦ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਘਟਨਾ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਮੰਦਭਾਗੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿਰੁੱਧ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਪਰੀਮ ਕੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ।
आज इस तरह गिरावट आ चुकी है कि लोकतंत्र के मंदिर का राजनीतिक रोटियां सेकने के लिए प्रयोग किया जा रहा है। कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन के लिए भगवंत मान जी पूछ के बताइए, अपने लीगल एडवाइजर से पूछ लीजिए।
मैं उन्होंने दसना चाहना रूल्स ऑफ प्रोसीजर एंड कंडक्ट ऑफ बिजनेस इन द पंजाब विधान सभा देयर इज नो प्रोविजन फॉर कॉलिंग अ स्पेशल सेशन ऑफ द पंजाब विधान सभा। हाउएवर रूल 58(1) in chapter 7 provides for motion of no confidence only. Therefore, the Honorable Governor has rightly cancelled the session.
We have seen after getting a legal opinion from Solicitor General of India, Satyapal Jain, it was decided as per the rule of Punjab Vidhan Sabha, this session cannot be called by the Punjab Chief Minister. Specifically, the objection was raised on confidence motion. They say for the confidence motion, such type of session cannot be called by the Chief Minister. But now we are showing you a different picture that how this session which has been called off and the orders had been withdrawn by Punjab Governor, but we can see huge force have been deployed here. So what we have learned from these police officials, they say they are not aware whether the session will be held here or not, but they have already been deployed on the duty at this point of time. So what we learned, the tussle between the Punjab Governor as well as the Chief Minister is continuing, but taxpayer money is being used by this tussle between both the Governor as well as the Chief Minister. So it seems that the Aam Aadmi, common man of Punjab, is suffering because this tussle which is continuing between Punjab Governor and the Punjab Chief Minister, that is unending. And yesterday we have seen, after getting the legal opinion, we have seen that this assent for this convening this session has been withdrawn. But at the same time, what we have seen here, the huge force have been deployed, and when we were talking to these police officials, they say they are not aware, there were not official communication with them whether there will be session or not, but the huge force have been deployed. So ये सारी force session के लिए लगी हुई है?
हाँ जी, सेशन लगी।
So well, we can see that here all the arrangements have been made at the ground.
And well, now it's time for the much-awaited debate on the biggest story of the day, massive crackdown on the PFI and the hate pattern that it reveals on India Upfront, with Editor-in-Chief Rahul Shivshankar.
Thanks indeed, Pratibha. Yes, as always, viewers, the biggest story here on India Upfront. Now, viewers, when we begin tonight, I want you to keep in mind one line, and that line appears on the top of your screen. It's in that golden bar, and it says biggest strike on Hinduphobia. Just remember that. Now let me tell you the context. Viewers, the scale is unprecedented. The scope of what is sought to be achieved is unprecedented. But the message is clear. The union government will dismantle Hinduphobia in the country. Enough is enough. Hinduphobia is today going global. From Birmingham to Bharuch Bengaluru, Bangladesh, there has been an unprecedented spike. And towards curbing it, the first big leap has been made. And it's about time, viewers, it's about time. Perhaps the catalyst is what happened in the United Kingdom, signaling that Hinduphobia now has reached the point where if immediate steps are not taken, there will be a very existential threat, a very real existential threat to Hindus all over, not just in this country. Viewers, there is always a tipping point. We saw that in the context of the Jews. A century and a half ago, viewers, the first strike in modern times was made against Jews in 1888, if my memory serves me right, in Russia. There was a massive hate campaign launched against the Jews there. The word pogrom that we use is actually a Russian word. Viewers, I won't say that tipping point has reached, but viewers, I will definitely say that we are hurtling towards something akin. Hindus are doing fantastically well around the globe. We've just had a Hindu contest for the premiership of Britain. He lost narrowly, as you know, viewers. We have more than 100 Indians, viewers, a majority of them from the Hindu community, in administrations of some of the top democracies in the Anglosphere, viewers. We have businessmen, viewers, Indian businessmen, a majority of them Hindus, in the top Forbes 100. All of this, it appears, is engendering some sort of resentment. And just like we have seen globally, that resentment is now finding avenues to strike. Well, today, viewers, a red line has been sought to be drawn. And the very real attempt to dismantle global Hinduphobia has been launched. Viewers, in India's largest ever coordinated strikes, raids, call them what you want to, the NIA crackdown on the face, on one of the most visible faces, as the NIA says, of Hinduphobia in this country, the Popular Front of India. Over 100 arrests were made across 11 states and over 80 locations. 80 locations, viewers, raided across 11 states, more than 100 arrested. I'm underlining these figures. It's massive, unprecedented. In the war room, Home Minister Amit Shah tracked the raids live. We are told that the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and the other agency chiefs were also in attendance. Not only have PFI offices been sealed, their documents and devices seized, but the entire top hierarchy was arrested to ensure the head of NIA designated radical outfit is crushed. And it never raises its head again. From their National General Secretary Anis Ahmed to state and district chiefs across 11 states, all have been locked up. In response, the PFI's cadre hit the streets in a bid to intimidate the agencies. Listen in to the sloganeering, the chanting, and the threats that were issued.
मोदी
चलेगी तानाशाही, का नारा।
Viewers, in West Bengal, Tiljala and Kolkata, in Maharashtra, Pune, Navi Mumbai, Nerul, Jalgaon, Kolhapur, Aurangabad, in Karnataka, Bengaluru, Mangaluru, Shimoga, Mysuru, Fraser Town, SK Garden. Recoveries have been made all along. They are there on your screens for you to read. In Delhi, Northeast and Southwest districts, Rajasthan, Kota, Jaipur, Udaipur, Baran. In Madhya Pradesh, Indore. In Assam, Guwahati, Kamrup. In Tamil Nadu, at least 6 or 7 locations. In Kerala, 8 or 9 locations. In Telangana, 3 locations. In Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, Varanasi, Bhairach. In Andhra Pradesh, Kurnool, Guntur. In Kerala, 70 locations. Lots has been recovered, viewers. And as I told you, viewers, that not only have documents and devices been seized, but the rattle PFI has hit the streets, as you can see, and they are threatening a massive protest tomorrow. In fact, one of their leaders has even come out and issued a dire threat. He's a senior member of the PFI, and he says, look, if you go after us and don't release our cadre, then whatever transpires from here on is your responsibility, and there will be consequences. Listen in.
अगर रिहा नहीं किया तो जो भी इसके नाम पर, नहीं तो इसके पर जो भी इधर नुकसान होता है, इसका संपूर्ण जवाबदार, उसका संपूर्ण जिम्मेदार कौन बोलेगा? तो यहाँ का राज्य सरकार और यहाँ का केंद्र सरकार बोल के हम लोग बोलने की इच्छा करते हैं। सोशल डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है, ये रजिस्टर्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है। ये रजिस्टर्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को ये लोग बैन करना, नहीं तो वो लोग निषेध करना बोलेगा तो उतना आसान नहीं है।
Now viewers, this crackdown, as I told you, is the biggest crackdown against Hinduphobia. The NIA certainly believes that the PFI is involved in targeting Hindus, and they have elucidated why. Let me take you through some of the reasons. The NIA says that the PFI has roots in the band Simi. In fact, its total top leadership was once with the Simi. E.M. Abdul Rahman, founder and General Secretary of the PFI, Simi General Secretary between 1980 and 93. Now Simi, viewers, is a banned terror organization in India. P. Koya, founder, vice chairman of the PFI, active member of Simi from 78 to 79. E. Abu Bakr, ex-SDPI president, this Kerala state president of Simi between 82 and 84. The big takeaway is that Simi banned for striving to establish a caliphate in India, and the people who led it just changed from one to another. That's all. The ideology remains the same. The PFI exports to the ISIS. Cadre of the PFI have joined the ISIS. As you know, viewers, they were arrested for joining the ISIS that has pledged Ghazwa-e-Hind against India. They want to completely wipe out Hindu civilization. That is what the ISIS tries to do. It's not a secret, they say it very openly. The PFI was one of the most vociferous in rejecting the Supreme Court's Ayodhya verdict. They said Apex Court's Babri verdict is a majoritarian bias. Babri will rise again, lest we forget, almost pledging, viewers, to do what the Mughals and others did. It's a revanchist PFI against righting historic wrongs against Hindus. Sartan se juda chants by children fielded by the PFI. This happened on the 21st of May, PFI rally in Alapura. Hindus, Christians, get ready for last rites, we are coming. This was seen as a direct threat to exterminate Hindus and Christians, and it greatly exercised agencies in this country because this child was tutored by a bunch of radicalized adults. The PFI mocks the Mopla massacre. Viewers, you all know pre-independence, Mopla uprising, where Hindus were targets. pretty much specifically. It incites violence against known figures of the Bharatiya Janata Party as well as others who are associated with that. And as we all know, viewers, the rally also invited hate against Hindus. Those are the pictures from that rally. Let's go to the next one. Condemn the hanging of Yaqub Memon. Yaqub Memon, viewers, if you remember, was executed for his role in fomenting trouble in Mumbai in 1992 and 93, late 92 and the early months of 93. Why did he do so? He wanted to avenge the 1992-1993 Mumbai riots. He wanted to take revenge from Hindus. Viewers, it's not just in India, but Hinduphobia, as I told you, is running riot in UK as well. Today, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, met his UK counterpart and raised his concern over the threat to Hindus and their temples in Leicester and Birmingham. Here, the ministry's response when they were asked a question on what really transpired. Listen to this.
Our High Commission continues to be in touch with the UK side. We are in touch with the diplomatic as well as the security authorities to prevent further attack and take action against the perpetrators. That has been our repeated request, to prevent these attacks and take action. You would have also seen that during his meeting yesterday in New York, External Affairs Minister raised this issue with his counterpart from the UK.
Unfortunately, viewers, in India, there is a race to absolve Islamist hate directed against Hindus. Several political parties are instead busy drawing false equivalences to give Hinduphobic radicals a face saver. There are two ways in which this is being done. First, by implicating alleged Hindutva activists and questioning why they weren't being raided as they are carrying out terror activities in the name of religion. And second, by suggesting that the PFI turn to terror, or organizations like the PFI or those who are targeting today Hindus have done so to preserve Islamic culture in the face of uncompromising saffron supremacists who are trying to exterminate Islam globally. Viewers, listen to some of the reactions that have been coming in.
अब देखा जाए तो बजरंग दल है, हिंदू सेना है और खुद आरएसएस है, ऐसी तमाम जो जमायतें हैं जो देश के अंदर, समाज के अंदर एक नफरत और घृणा पैदा करते हैं, उनके खिलाफ, सबके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होती तो लोगों को विश्वास होता है कि सही मानों में सरकार कोई कदम उठा रही है.
Those organizations who are spread communal hatred and spoil the harmony in the society, whether it is Bajrang Dal, whether it is SDPI, PFI or any other organization, let them take action on them. Let them ban them.
बीजेपी का कोई लोग पर सीबीआई और एनआई की छापा क्यों नहीं पड़ा? ये सब महात्मा गांधी और भगवान बुद्ध हो गए.
सतपाल जो हमारे गवर्नर थे, गवर्नर महोदय, उन्होंने अपने एक इंटरव्यू में एक दफ़ा नहीं बहुत दफ़ा कहा कि मुझे जम्मू कश्मीर में जब मैं गवर्नर था तो मुझे 2 फाइलें करने के लिए 300 करोड़ रुपए की ऑफर थी और उसमें बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया कि आरएसएस का एक बंदा था और एक ऑफिसर था जिसका बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया उन्होंने. तो आज तक ये लोग नहीं बता पाए कि उसके बाद क्या हुआ, उनका वहां रेड नहीं हुआ.
Viewers, let's open this up. Let's ask some basic questions tonight, and I want to begin first with Vivek Srivastava and Advocate Sharafuddin, Vice President of the SDPI. Vivek Srivastava, let me come to you first. I want to ask you a basic question. Why is there a race to whitewash Islamist hate? In Birmingham, mobs of Pakistanis are targeting Hindus, and here in India, we are justifying that by saying that, look, what can you do? They are reacting to Hindutva mobilization. No proof, of course, is being offered that there is some big Hindutva mobilization that is going on in the UK. Number one. Here in India, when you raid the PFI, that the NIA says is carrying on activities in the name of Islam to uproot their civilizational enemies, once again, people like you, sir, of a particular ecosystem are going out there and saying, no, what about Hindu terrorists? Yes. What about Hindutva terrorists? go after them. So why always these equivalences?
Absolutely, Rahul.
And if you believe in the action-reaction theory, sir,
that is because
then that becomes very tricky ground.
Yes.
Because then people will say, oh, the Gujarat riots were justified because Hindus were burnt alive in a train, that, oh, well, you know, other riots have taken place, like the anti-Sikh riots because of X reason, like Congress party said. I mean, there is no end to it. You can't rationalize hate against a community. Can you?
No.
And sir, tell me something. Do Pakistanis need an excuse to attack? Do Pakistanis need an excuse to attack Indians anywhere in the world? Look what they have done on our borders. They've invaded us 3 times. They've been rebuffed and thrown back all 3 times, shamed, cut up in half. They swear to cut India down through 1,000 incisions, break India. And you are saying that they need, that they are being triggered, their anger is being triggered because of Hindutva. Isn't this, sir, an attempt, as I said, to clean chit, whitewash Islamist hate? What is wrong with you? Do you think the Lashkar-e-Taiba needs a reason to attack India or the ISIS?
No. No, I see it a little differently, Rahul. I believe we have a constitution and our constitution is secular. It is guaranteeing equal rights to all the religions, all the castes, all the communities. So, I mean, the government and the agencies need to be neutral, number one. So it is not the question of Pakistan or Simi or PFI. First of all, I am talking about the equality which the constitution guarantees. You are letting the Bajrang Dal go away. There was the Dharam Sansad in Haridwar. I do not know why those guys are roaming around scot-free. Many of them. There were naras in Jantar Mantar. Mulle wo kaate jayenge. We debated on your channel. Those guys are roaming around scot-free. They are also having organizations. Bajrang Dal is a militant organization. Hindu Sena, Hindu Sher Sena, there are thousands of Senas roaming around. They are, which are fueling communal, tensions across the nation. They are not being targeted by the government at all. So the government needs to be neutral. That is point number one. Point number two, NIA, was it sleeping for 8 years? I mean, you in your package just now said that, I mean, Simi is what, grew up into a PFI and a lot of leaders are very common. What was the NIA doing for 8 years? For 8 years, I mean, it's a long period. That means we are not getting good governance. If everything was so scary, if everything was so dangerous, 8 years is a long time period. That is what I feel. And secondly, SDPI was a registered party. I am against SDPI completely. Why was action not taken systematically over all these years? What were you waiting for? So, I mean, yes, nobody favors violence, nobody favors Hinduphobia or Islamophobia. We are a secular, civilized country. Pakistan is a very small fry for us to be bothered about.
So, Mr. Srivastava, do you believe...
However, if the government is not neutral and you start spreading hatred...
Okay, quick counter question. Do you believe that all those today who rush to give a rationale to what we witnessed in Birmingham or Leicester were wrong?
Yes. You see, right after the Gujarat riots, when the Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat was not even given a visa by the United States for 10 years, India got a bad name. It was bad governance.
And that is what is spawning the backlash.
So much of mob lynching,
I thought that you would say that. I thought you would say that.
No,
so you're saying that Pakistan actually needs a reason.
There is no, I don't
No, 1 second, to target Indians.
No,
that 1 second, the PFI that the NI claims has links to overseas Islamist terror organizations. I'm not saying it. The NIA said it. That's why they're carrying out the raids. They've said it in numerous charge sheets that we have. Is basically acting because it feels threatened. Now, viewers, just look at this. So Hindu groups are acting because they are 1 second. They act with impunity and without provocation. But these poor Pakistanis and the PFI cadre, the hapless Pakistanis and PFI cadre are reacting to a perceived threat from India and its Hindutva lynch mobs. That's what basically you're saying. Okay, let me bring in General Bakshi and Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar first. You go on this. You raised your hand before General Bakshi, so I'll go in that order.
Rahul,
yes.
Yeah, Rahul Shivashankarji, just two submissions. I am a proud Hindu activist, but I am equally proud that I have filed FIRs against Satwi Prachi for her anti-Muslim comments, which calls for Muslim Mukh Bharat. I have personally went to police station and filed FIR. We pursue the case. I am equally, I dislike or I condemn people like Yadi Narasimhanand. I don't belong to any, so-called ultra-right organization. But please remember, this fake balancing or monkey balancing between Islamist terrorist organization and other organization is fake. That is insincere. Every time they call out on RSS and tries to equate with the PFI, it is absolutely uncalled for. RSS is an organization, you may agree or disagree with it. Just like a mainstream organization, Congress, you have RSS on the right and Congress on the center left and RSS on the center right space. But they are in effect giving an ideological cover to organization like Popular Front of India, who has been convicted of serious charges of extremism, including chopping the hands of a professor. Please remember, it's such a barbaric act of chopping the hands of a professor. So it is a fake pseudo-secular left liberal lobby who wants to give a cover fire, who wants to give some sort of a ideological cover fire and whitewash the hardline Islamist movement that they are doing it. And last point, Kerala is home to some great Muslim organization like Muslim League, Indian Union Muslim League, whose chief minister once said that if Holy Mecca comes to attack India, me and my family and my sons and generations will stand against Holy Mecca when they attack India. We have some great Muslim organizations in Kerala and all over India, but PFI is a hardline Islamist Wahhabi leaning organization who believes in violence, who have been convicted of violence, and such Islamist violence is a threat to India and holy Islam itself. But they are afraid to call this out, and the painful fact is the pseudo-secular lobby is giving a cover fire because either of the concern for vote bank or because of their blind Modi phobia. They are being intellectually dishonest. Even on a day like this, I don't know whether this case will be proved right or wrong, even on a day like this, such multiple massive raid, they are not even ready to condemn such things. I would only humbly request them to remember Professor Joseph, whose hands were chopped off, and such barbaric act was uncalled for in recent times.
Okay, one second. I want to bring in General Bakshi and Advocate Sharafuddin, who's the Vice President of the SDPI, which is known to be the political wing of the Popular Front of India. Now, Advocate Saab, first of all, I just want to quickly tell viewers that people like Yati Narasimhanand, etc. were arrested. They were only granted bail by the court. No one came and opened their padlock for them and let them out, viewers. They were arrested. He made a vile hate speech saying that he would want to attack people from the minority community, wipe them out, etc., etc. He was promptly arrested in Haridwar, and it was only after the intervention of the courts that he got bail. No one is walking free. If there are people out there, it is because the courts have ruled in their favor. Now, having said that, I want to bring in Advocate Sharafuddin and General Bakshi. Advocate Saab, it's a simple question. The accusation against you is that you're trying to influence Muslim youth to join a proscribed organization like the Islamic State. The name of this organization itself tells you what they want to do around the world, specifically in India. And I'm asking you, sir, why is it that so many of your cadre have ended up joining the ISIS? What's the correlation?
First, sir, let me speak, sir. First, it is duty of every Indian to respect the rule of law and to honor the norms of the Constitution. Nobody may be allowed to be involved in the disruptive activities in any sense. But all the disruptive activities should be dealt at par. I think that the garlanding of Muzaffarnagar accused persons on bail, as well as the honor to the Bilqis Bano convicted cases accused persons is also abroad, and it is one of the disruptive activities. We see that the SSP of Patna has equated the RSS with the PFI. So, and has categorically, as sitting SSP said, that no proof, no evidence has been found to link the PFI with any religious organization, or no evidence has been got for the foreign funding. There has been a number of cases filed by NIA and other agencies against the PFI, but no court has still the illustration or the examples are misquoted here, because 21 persons were held for the unlawful assembly,
please.
no arm was
Mr.
recovered.
Sharafuddin, please.
And so is the case.
Please.
So is the case. Please,
Even the
let
left,
me conclude.
of whom
let me conclude.
Vivek Srivastava is a member,
30 seconds.
even the
Only
left
30
government,
seconds,
the
30
Kerala
seconds,
government under the
30
left
seconds,
deposed
30
in
seconds.
court,
Please, let me conclude. Please let me conclude.
Yeah.
Jagan Narayan Commission has said that RSS has aborted the Bhagalpur right. So is the case in Pranath Kapoor Commission. This RSS has been involved in the murder of Gandhi. So I just want to say that when only one community
Mr. Sharafuddin, for several years, the Congress, which is a sworn enemy of the RSS, was in power. They could have banned the RSS. No one has done so. Okay?
3 times RSS banned, 3 times. 3 times RSS was banned.
Sir, when are you talking about? What years?
Times.
You know the years we are referring to. Immediately after independence. After that, they were invited to walk. Sir, RSS cadre were invited to walk in the Republic Day parade. You know this. But I just want to, viewers, draw your attention to what even the left has said.
After
the left that
fulfilling
Vivek Srivastava belongs to has deposed in court saying, sir, please allow me, that the PFI is a dangerous extremist organization. There are other references, viewers. 2 men arrested with links from Patna's Fulwari Sharif area discovered in their possession a document titled India Vision 2047, which spoke about subjugating coward majority community and bringing back the glory. What would you call it if not Islamist fanaticism? Then, according to reports, one of the people later arrested in Fulwari Sharif case, Maghroob Ahmed Danish, purportedly formed a group called Ghazwa-e-Hind with 10 members, out of whom 8 were from Bangladesh, 1 was from Pakistan. Can you overlook how some PFI workers have become a conduit for anti-India forces to spread terror in this country? In fact, Sufi clerics like Hazrat Sayyid Nasiruddin Chishti have called for a ban on PFI, sir. People from within the Muslim community clearly stating that such organizations are doing absolutely un-Islamic, in his words, work in this country. There has been a growing demand to ban PFI from opposition parties who have prioritized self-preservation over national security and unity, and there are several instances to highlight how PFI, SDPI have enjoyed their patronage. I have several examples here. Now, I want to ask General Bakshi, this constant cover fire that the Congress and certain other political parties provide, even the left, what do you make of this? Where is this coming from, General Bakshi? What is the intention? General Saab.
Rahul, let me make a few quick points.
Yes, sir.
Number 1, it is standard practice for terrorist organizations, especially the Pakistani-sponsored ones, to deftly and quickly change names, change bank accounts, and keep operating as they were. Most of the cadre of the PFI are direct draftees from the Islamic State. The Islamic State had specifically been tasked to carry out locally, manufactured bomb attacks. And there was a spate of bombings for a decade in every major city of India. They were told to fabricate this with ammonium nitrate, locally available chemicals, so that Pakistan would have complete deniability. When we ground the IS, took it to the ground, well, it has just morphed and come into the form of the PFI. And the PFI initially, posed as a social organization and some kind of an RSS analog, as they claim. But thereafter, they have now started having contacts with the vicious Islamic State, which had to be attacked by the United States and Russia together in Syria and Iraq, because it was posing a threat to the entire established global order, right? You get into cahoots with such a state, and it is only a matter of time when the links with the Taliban will come out bright in the open, right? So how long are we supposed to sit back? How long are we supposed to accept an equivalence, a kind of a moral equivalence between some Hindu organizations which have not one terror-related incident on their record, but here are organizations in cahoots with dangerous terrorist outfits, and you are supposed to establish a moral equivalence that every time any action is taken against a terrorist organization, some Hindu organization must be penalized. I mean, I fail to understand this. I mean, you want to win votes, you want to win elections, certainly, but you can't do it at the cost of the country's national security. You can't do it at the cost of people losing their lives. I mean, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
750 people were killed in that 1993 bombing.
And General Bakshi, listen to this.
2611.
Listen to this. You know, here we are, someone was talking about the rule of law, we are a democracy, abiding, rule of law, this, that, the other. Now let me tell you what the courts themselves have said. This is the Kerala High Court, viewers. The Kerala High Court says for the reason that the SDPI, PFI activists were behind the killing, there is no justification. This is in reference to an incident. There is no justification in seeking transfer of the investigation to the CBI. No doubt SDPI and PFI are extremist organizations indulging in serious acts of violence. All the same, those are not banned organizations. This was said in its order on May 5, viewers. And despite that, you have organizations that do business with the PFI. And let me give you some examples. In 2015, Siddaramaiah-led Congress government in Karnataka dropped criminal cases against PFI workers. Why? Because, viewers, there has been always talk that there has been a political understanding with the Congress. For example, in April 2018 Karnataka election, the SDPI, the political wing of the PFI, reportedly withdrew its candidates from 47 seats following a purported understanding with the Congress. In September 2018, SDPI National President M.K. Faizi said that the organization was talks with the Congress and other secular parties to forge an alliance for the upcoming 2019 Lok Sabha elections. In 2020, intelligence agencies suspected that the AMM was backing PFI in planning anti-CA public meetings in Murshidabad after the place had already seen the worst kind of violence. This is a report on the 1st of January 2020. Viewers, in April 2022, CPM Kerala Secretary argued that banning SDPI is not practical, even though the left government had called this organization a dangerous extremist organization, and the Kerala High Court has also echoed the same. So, Tehseen Poonawalla, what is going on here? Why, as General Bakshi says, are you drawing these equivalences? Do you not see that there is, from Birmingham to Bengaluru to Bangladesh, a pan-Islamic and very considered plot to eviscerate one community and spread hate? And I'm not saying it, the courts are saying it. I've quoted you.
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. And the onset, thank you to General Bakshi for your service to the country. It's because of people like you that we are safe. Yet again, I'm with you in this studio. Yet again, Vivek and I are discussing the terror organization SDPI and PFI. Sorry, I cannot call them terror organizations. You know why? Because the SG of this country under Narendra Modi ji says in the Supreme Court, and I quote him, that we are in the process of banning. That process has been going on for 2 years. Nothing has happened. The NIA, which has a conviction rate of 93.25, I get my source from Times of India, has not convicted a single person from the PFI. Therefore, Vivek and I keep telling you, Rahul, that the PFI and the SDPI, this advocate sitting here, is the B team of the BJP. They're two sides of the same coin because they want to spread extremist hate.
With them?
I'll
why
come to
does
that.
the Congress do business with them? If they are the B team
I will come
of
to
the
that.
BJP, which you loathe, then why do you do business with them? If they are the C team of the RSS, why do you do business with them when your leader says that they are part of the conspiracy to divide India?
Very good question. Please allow me to answer that. I'll take a little time, but I'll answer that. I'm going to quote, please allow me to answer that. I'm going to quote something, 12th December 1948, to answer your question. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the first president of India, writes to the Home Minister of India, the first Home Minister of India.
So why are we going back so far in time? The PFI didn't exist, and I'm just asking you right now.
I'm answering that with your question.
No, forget it. The PFI, what has that got to do with 1948?
Yes, answering your question. Allow me to answer that. Finish. The RSS practices... No, it's not. I'll answer your question. The RSS practices secret, violent methods which promote fascism, says the first president of India to the Home Minister. Yet the Congress invited the RSS because you want to bring them into mainstream, like the left and the Congress tried to bring the SDPI and the PFI. But it is the Congress government in Jharkhand, it is the left government in Kerala that has said on court, on affidavit to ban this organization. The only people not banning it is the BJP. One last point. One last point. March 8, 2022, Times of India.
By that logic, tomorrow you will be free. One
last point. This is one point. I just beg your indulgence. The Karnataka's present Home Minister says this, quoting Times of India, there is no proposal by us to ban the SDP or the PFI. You know why? Because OAC and the PFI are B teams of the BJP.
1 second, I don't know.
We tried to bring them in
interview.
space.
1 second, the Chief Minister, Mr. Bomai, asked him a specific question of the PFI, and he says that we are moving very quickly to build one. Listen to me. Listen. Now, well, you've had the raids within a month and a half. Within a month and a half. Please, with a month and a half. Tehseen Poonawalla, the problem is that the Congress has perfected, and these so-called secular parties have perfected the art of hunting with the hounds and running with the hare.
Sir, Vivek and I are telling you ban the PFI. If I was Home Minister of this country, PFI would be banned and SDPI would be sitting in jail. I would not be using them for political gains.
That's fine. That's fine.
I would not be using them. They are using them. Unfortunately, this country has the most incompetent Home Minister who has the spine of a molten eclair. So he will sit on camera, watch raids happening of people gathering. He does not have the spine to ban them. 2 years have been coming on Times now. Why is there not banned?
Excuse me. Tehseen Poonawalla, look, you can rage against the BJP, and I will agree with you. I would have wanted the PFI banned 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years ago. 1 second, sir, please.
Congress bans me.
1 second. 1 second. Can you allow me? Can you allow me? See, this is not fair. Okay, please allow me. There have been 2 attempts by state governments, viewers, to ban the PFI. Both failed. Bans were in place, they were overturned. Those are the facts. It's a slippery organization according to the NI. It's very difficult to pin them down. And they have a lot of political support. That is what is quite clear from the instances of those that bestow favors upon them. For what we don't know, viewers. I can't claim here a quid pro quo, though it is strange that so many favors are constantly, viewers, done to them. What could be the payoff? We don't know. Let me tell you. CPIM Kerala State Secretary and Senior Politburo member Kodri Balakrishnan said if an outfit which is formed on the basis of an ideology is outlawed, it will take another form and start functioning in the state. That is what we saw. The Simi was banned, out sprouted the PFI. Now viewers, if, as is happening, hundreds and hundreds of tomorrow PFI cadre are locked up, it will be the Congress, it will be the left that will hit the streets saying that this is majoritarianism, Muslims are being persecuted. So you have to have a strong case.
No, sir, they are not Muslims.
Of course.
Traitors of our country.
No. One second, sir. No. I've got. Can I quote now? Can I quote your leaders today who have come out and said? Can I quote? No. Can I quote your leaders who are saying today, sir, on record, that this is a crackdown singularly against members of one community, and by the same yardstick, RSS Hindutvavadi should also be locked up. Now viewers, no, 1 second. I am going straight across. No, let's go straight across to Binoy Singh, who joins us. Binoy Singh, the charge is that there is a lot of muscular activity by the RSS, by the BJP in denouncing this organization. There is also now raids, but nothing will amount of these. This is just an attempt to single out Muslim young men. How do you respond to this charge?
Rahul, this is not a Muslim organization. PFI doesn't represent all the Indian Muslims. Even many Muslim organizations, the nationalist Muslim organizations, the peace-loving Muslim organizations, they are opposed to PFI and they have demanded a ban on PFI. And let me make it very clear. We must appraise, we must give credit to our Honorable Home Minister for putting such a massive scale of raids. And I assure you, Rahul, there are truckload of evidence.
Sir, what credit to the Honorable Home Minister? He was sitting on camera watching the raids. Last 8 years, this government is in power. Why is not acting? Just keep giving
Rahul,
Okay, one second. Let him finish.
No.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
This is elections coming up in Gujarat.
No, let him finish. Let him finish. Okay, 1 second. Polarization. The charge is polarization. I told you, viewers, that somewhere along the line they will say, that this is a witch hunt against Muslims. And then they sit on TV and they say, no, this is not an organization of Muslims. Okay, 1 second. Binoy Kumar. Binoy Kumar wants to respond. Binoy Singh wants to respond to. Yes.
Rahul, there are two ideas of India.
Okay.
One idea of India is India 2047 of the government of India. The government of India, led by Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, they want to take India out of the badge of a developing nation. And we want to move into the next league. And there is an idea of India 2047 by a PFI organization. They want to dismember India. They want to disintegrate India. They want
somebody wants to disintegrate India should be banned and behind jails.
And we must.
For 8 years, are trying to put them in jail and court overturns your verdicts. Who overturns your lawyers?
No, not overturns. No, 1 second. There were state governments that did so. State governments that did so. Fair enough. And then you are saying that BJP has not taken any action. They have taken action.
And they lost. What kind of a case? You know when Simi was banned?
I'm telling you. 1 second. Mr. Poonawala.
In 2008, the left was involved.
Mr. Poonawala. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the organization learned from its mistakes, morphed into another, and decided to be more covert. I don't know. Well, that is what is happening. You are seeing raids. The biggest raids ever have happened in this country. We can only now, viewers, hope that this organization is banned, that the evidence that is recovered will allow the government to form a strong case. Perhaps we are already seeing that. But viewers, mark my words, there will be many who will come out starting tomorrow and amplify the message of a large number who have started today to say this is a crackdown against innocent Muslim youth. Mark my words, viewers. I need to move on because there is a huge amount of evidence that Times Now is beginning to procure. Over the last 4 days, you have seen multiple images, horrific intimidation and terrifying images of intimidation coming out of the UK, from Leicester to Birmingham, showing how Hindus and Hindu symbols have been targeted repeatedly with impunity. Whether it was saffron flag at a temple being desecrated in Leicester or flagrantly obscene gestures aimed at temple goers in Birmingham, Hindus have been outrageously mocked and targeted. However, ever since the violence has broken out, sinister attempts have been made to portray the onslaught on Hindus as a somehow justifiable reaction to a deliberate provocation on part of Hindutva activists in the UK. Today, Times Now shows you the naked truth of this false narrative being peddled to malign Hindus. We have accessed a series of videos that show how Muslim mobs were instigated openly by people who exercise considerable influence online and is visible in the videos of aftermath of these speeches. Here you will see Pakistani youth, viewers, Pakistani Britons, who are inciting other Pakistanis and other people in vast crowds. First up, listen to this man, Muhammad Hijab, who amidst the ongoing violence in Leicester is interacting with mask-clad men, encouraging them to teach local Hindu population a lesson. This video is from Monday, 2 days since the violence was already raging. Watch this.
Now in Leicester, the Hindutva are coming out, yeah? And you're trying to act like gangsters? You're trying to act like gangsters. Come on, man. You're not about that life. Don't ever. I'm saying this directly to all the so-called Hindutva wannabe gangsters. Don't ever come out like that again. Do you understand? No chance. Are they going to come out like that again? Never. Are they going to come out like that again? Never. Because if they do come out, are we going to be here, yes or no?
Muhammad Hijab, ladies and gentlemen, is a repeat offender. Spewing hate seems to be a trend. As you see on the screens right now, visuals of an anti-Israel demonstration in London where he threatened to kill Jews. He says all sorts of vile words. You can see him, viewers, holding that microphone up. Loudspeaker. Viewers, this is one person. However, he is not the only one. Remember the violence and disgusting provocation outside Durga Bhavan Hindu Center in Birmingham? Now watch this man, apparently a YouTube influencer, Shakil Afsar, inciting the mob right opposite the temple, asking the Hindu Center to declare that it does not support BJP and RSS amid threats of violence. Viewers, this is bizarre. Does the Hindu community stand outside mosques where Pakistanis offer prayer and ask mosque authorities to come out and say that they don't support their own government in Pakistan that exports terror, Islamist terror to India and other neighboring states, even Afghanistan? Viewers, this is shameful and it's very, very dangerous. Listen to this.
If Hindu temples like this do not stand by the BJP and the RSS, they need to come out in open official statements and state that they don't stand by the BJP and RSS. We will not accept half-hearted condemnation. We will not accept imams coming out and saying they don't stand without valid proof. We've had enough, and the people of Birmingham will stand up. Takbir!
You've heard the instigations, now watch how such provocations translate into implications. Majid Freeman, the man on your screens, is in a pair of white trousers, you can see him, and black jacket, is seen as part of the mob running rampage in Leicester. Watch closely as the masked men surround a car, topple it over, leaving a man bleeding. Watch that, viewers. Watch those pictures. There you can see what is happening. Who is the occupant of that car? Now, viewers, Majid is one of the many who have been feeding the social media with anti-Hindu propaganda and have been repeatedly fact-checked by the Leicester police. But to no avail. He tried to peddle fears around a Muslim boy being targeted by Hindus and was exposed. Then he spread fake news that Hindu men had tried to abduct a Muslim girl and was again called out by the police. Viewers, these people are spoiling for a fight. They don't need a trigger. They don't need an excuse. And yet there are many people who are providing them excuses. Why is this happening? Let's open this up. I want to go straight across to Pandit Satish K. Sharma, MBCS, FRSA, Dharmic scholar and former General Secretary of the National Council of Hindu Temples. Sir, there has been a narrative here in India, narrative in the UK where you are, that some Hindutva mobs who have been trying to spread RSS propaganda have upset the peace and invited repercussions on the larger Hindu community. How do you respond to this? You're a member of the Hindu community there.
Jai Shri Ram, and again thank you for giving me an opportunity to share some updates and latest news. The answer to your question is very simple. This whole Hindutva RSS BJP narrative has now been thoroughly discredited and debunked. A report was produced and broadcast earlier today in which independent journalists spent a significant amount of time in Leicester and could find no evidence to support anything which would indicate that there was a presence of Hindutva or BJP rhetoric or anything at all to do with the RSS. And so we were actually engaging with the press organizations which took this false narrative and proliferated it to find out whether they have had any evidence. But at this moment in time, the news media circles themselves are now beginning to confirm that this is just a distraction. It's a sleight of hand. It's a deflection to try and take attention away from what we're now beginning to see on the basis of facts as the real objective of the violence that occurred.
Let me go across to Tariq Fatah, columnist who joins us. Mr. Tariq Fatah, do you believe that Pakistani mobs that are getting cover fire in this country need an excuse to target either Indians or Hindus in specific? Do they need an excuse? I think you're on mute, sir. Mr. Fatah, you're on mute. Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
You see, they don't need an excuse for any child who, I don't use the word Muslim, but specifically Pakistani. I've never run into a Turkish or an Arab or an Iranian who even knows what is Hinduism or Hindutva, who would know about freedom struggles, etc. This is a question that comes into specifically Pakistani Muslims and to some degree Northern Indian Muslim who settle down, and then in Britain they have the ability to mix around with and share the hatred for Hinduism or Hindutva or whatever they may call it. They will use a name for it, but their contempt for being Hindustani or being a Hindu is immense. I don't think that ordinary Hindus even have a clue as to how deep this resentment is, that we are the purified, chosen people on earth, and until Ghazwa Hind, when all Hindu temples will be destroyed and all Hindus will be converted to Islam, our mission will not be fulfilled, and that is when Roz-e-Qayamat or end times will come and we will all take our connecting flights to paradise. You may think this is some fable, but this is the reality which every Muslim seriously believes in if they live in the Indian subcontinent.
I object to
this. Is not
every Muslim.
Okay,
really
not every Muslim.
I strongly object to this.
Not every Muslim.
No, I don't care whether it's every Muslim or not.
Yes,
I've gone beyond.
Absolutely.
Just a second. No, whatever it is.
No, whatever. You see, one second.
Cannot use this channel for hate.
Viewers, one second. Let me just step in here. 1 second. Tariq Fatah, you see, I specifically asked you about Pakistani Muslims. I don't know, I have no evidence before me that suggests that any Indian origin Muslim is part of this mob. And let me tell you that I have checked at least more than once with local authorities there.
Yeah.
Through our channel. And we have not been told.
I sit with these Indian Muslims. I know them.
No, I don't. So I'm not going to go there because I don't have the proof. My point is, Tariq Fatah, 1 second please, let me just step in here. My point is, viewers, what is distressing me, Mr. Poonawalla, what is distressing me, that there are many netas in our country, there are many columnists in our country that are providing even Pakistanis cover fire by suggesting that they are triggered by Hindutva.
No, it is ultimately.
Is this, one second Vivek Srivastava, I know you're going to agree with that point of view.
Ultimately it is
but
benefiting the BJP,
can I ask Tehseen Poonawalla, Mr. Poonawalla, what is this, 1 second,
sir.
what, Mr. Srivastava, please, I'm not asking you this question, give me 30 seconds, please. I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla on this point, please. Mr. Poonawalla, you're a reasonable man.
Yeah.
Do you think Pakistanis require any trigger to espouse hatred against Hindus anywhere in the world? I'm asking you this.
Not just against Hindus, Rahul, against Indians.
I'm asking you.
They
specifically here because it's the Hindu temples.
One second.
Mr. Poonawalla, whatever it is, I'm not getting into the Indian Muslim question.
I'll tell you why they hate Indian Muslims more. Because this land gives Indian Muslims more than Pakistani Muslims.
But here in this case, they have gone out there and they have surrounded Hindu temples. Now, when they have done so, there is a whole group here There's a whole group here. There's a whole group here. What is that group saying?
Okay.
And there are people like Mr. Srivastava. Can you please explain to him that by using Hindutva as cover fire to justify this, you're giving Pakistan an alibi? Can you imagine giving Pakistan an alibi?
First, I just want to put two things on record. This one joker who you exposed, Mohammed Hijab, and this other one, Majid Freeman. This Hijab guy, Mohammed Hijab guy, is Egyptian. And this Freeman is got some dubious records and has a dubious terror past as alleged.
So he's roiling up Pakistani men.
They are all, yes, this has nothing to do with Indian Muslims that are putting it on record. Indian Muslims are WhatsApping saying why are we being called into this? Number one.
Number who is calling them into this?
Number two.
I'll tell you who.
One second.
It is leaders, unfortunately,
okay,
from the Congress party.
Why
are they making this a Hindu-Muslim issue?
Let me accept your point, Rahul.
Why are they making it a Hindu-Muslim issue? What has this got to do with Indian Muslims?
Okay,
I'm asking you. This has got nothing to do with Indian Muslims.
Let me accept your point.
You have said Egyptian, you have said X, Y, you have said Pakistani. Why are you making this? No, why is the Congress wanting to make this about Indian Muslims?
I can't understand. I'll tell you what the opposition is asking in reasonable demand.
No, it's not.
Please allow me to make my point.
Please.
The opposition is saying in one voice, Indians are being attacked, and why is your external affairs ministry doing nothing?
That's not right.
Yesterday time now to stand up for the external affairs ministry to react
do you condemn people? Do you condemn them? Do you condemn? One second. Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen Poonawala, I want to ask you. One minute. I want to ask you a question. And this is 1 second. I want to. No, please.
Why?
I just want to ask you a question. No, they have taken it up.
No, sir.
Please allow me. Allow me. Please. Please, the Indian mission, please, now, Tehseen Poonawala, look, you want to, no, 1 second, you want to constantly spread a little bit of fake propaganda here, but one second, please, one second, even you are supporting Russia. Please, let me listen, please. You are also supporting against American wishes other powers.
Who?
That America today has launched a war against. For example, we have not voted against Russia. Now, these are matters of state.
Isn't that a good thing?
I want 1 second, please.
Isn't that a good thing?
Can you please? So by your yardstick, we should be only in the American camp, right?
I don't say that.
So 1 second. So America is playing its games. No, why are you taking this conversation away from the basic problem? And the basic problem.
No. Is incompetent.
1 second,
the High Commissioner should have been
okay,
on
now
the
you're not being fair. You are shouting away. No, 1 second. I am not defending the government. I'm only giving the facts. Excuse me. This is a sovereign country that we are talking about. Tehseen Poonawala, 1 second. 1 second.
What happened in Australia when students were being beaten?
This is not right.
What happened?
This is not right. This is not right. Tehseen Poonawala, this is not right. This is not right. Let somebody finish. You are today diverting attention from the fundamental question. There are leaders who were once part of the Congress, today they are part of other political parties, who are coming out and saying that this provocation on behalf of Pakistanis is on account of what? Very simply this, viewers, Hindutva. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? A fig leaf is being given to Pakistan. Pakistan that has one finger on the nuclear button daily to eviscerate us. Viewers, think about this. Look at where our politics is going. And you have people like Vivek Srivastava and his party men who stand up for this. Think about it. I leave it at this.
The most pressing issues, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
show tonight, viewers.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to visit Japan on 27 September to attend the state funeral of its former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. India's Foreign Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi confirmed the news.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a crackdown on hate and on the harbingers of this hate and bigotry that is slowly spreading its tentacles in India. Today we saw India's biggest ever strike on the NIA designated radical outfit Popular Front of India by both the NIA and the Enforcement Directorate and state police across 15 states. Over 100 arrests have been made from states and union territories, including Kerala, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan and Delhi. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has been tracking the raids live from the war room with the NSA, Ajit Doval, agency chiefs in attendance along with the Home Secretary. The agencies have sealed PFI offices across 90 locations. Incriminating materials including devices and documents have been seized. The probe agencies arrested PFI National General Secretary Anis Ahmed and its state and district chiefs across India. They ensured that the cleanup was swift and decisive. However, the sleuths faced chants and intimidation during the raids. Watch how the PFI cadres hit the streets in protest. Not just protests had erupted after the arrests were made, an open threat has also been issued by one of the PFI members. Listen in to this threat that came in front of everybody.
अगर रिहा नहीं किया तो जो भी इसके नाम पर नहीं तो इसके पर जो भी इधर नुकसान होता है इसका संपूर्ण जवाबदार उसका संपूर्ण जिम्मेदार कौन बोलेगा तो यहाँ का राज्य सरकार और यहाँ का केंद्र सरकार बोल के हम लोग बोलने सोशल डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है, ये रजिस्टर्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है। ये रजिस्टर्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को ये लोग बैन करना नहीं तो वो लोग निषेध करना बोलेगा तो उतना आसान नहीं है।
Ladies and gentlemen, some people in our country, the ecosystem that perhaps finds no fault with the PFI still continues to back it. Listen into this now.
अब देखा जाए तो बजरंग दल है, हिंदू सेना है और खुद आरएसएस है, ऐसी तमाम जो जमायतें हैं जो देश के अंदर समाज के अंदर एक नफरत और घृणा पैदा करते हैं, उनके खिलाफ सबके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होती तो लोगों को विश्वास होता है कि सही मानों में सरकार कोई कदम उठा रही है।
Those organizations who are spread communal hatred and spoil the harmony in the society, whether it is Bajrang Dal, whether it is SDPI, PFI or any other organization, let them take action on them, let them ban them.
बीजेपी का कोई लोग पर सीबीआई और एनआई ये छापा क्यों नहीं पड़ा? ये सब महात्मा गांधी और भगवान बुद्ध हो गए।
सतपाल जो हमारे गवर्नर थे, गवर्नर महोदय, उन्होंने अपने एक इंटरव्यू में एक दफ़ा नहीं बहुत दफ़ा कहा कि मुझे जम्मू कश्मीर में जब मैं गवर्नर था तो मुझे 2 फाइलें करने के लिए 300 करोड़ रुपए की ऑफ़र थी और उसमें बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया कि आरएसएस का एक बंदा था और एक ऑफिसर था जिसका बाज़ाब्ता नाम लिया उन्होंने। तो आज तक ये लोग नहीं बता पाए कि उसके बाद क्या हुआ, उनका वहाँ रेड नहीं हुआ।
So ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to the legitimate question on the Newshour tonight. Is a ban on PFI after the crackdown imminent? That's the question we are asking. The debate, #NIA raids PFI, coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining me tonight, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, Vinod Bansal, national spokesperson of the VHP, Danish Qureshi, political analyst, advocate Ehtesham Hashmi, political analyst, Karthik Reddy, spokesperson of the TRS. But my first question goes to Majid Haidri, political analyst. And Majid Haidri, I want to ask you, why is this ecosystem so overactive when they come out to defend the attacks or the raids on PFI, the attacks in courts that are made through the allegations against them? And why do they always have to bring in RSS and other outfits when there is a terror financing and terror related raid on the PFI? What does this have to do with any of the political mileage that you want to get out of taking the names of those outfits?
Well, Navika Saiba, frankly speaking, I'm a bit confused tonight. I'm confused because should I start by thanking RSS Chief Honorable Dr. Mohan Bhagwat ji for walking that extra mile towards the Muslim community with that heartwarming gesture of visiting masjid and madrasa and having interaction with the Muslims? Or should I mourn the domestication of NIA, ED and CBI by the Bharatiya Janata Party? I'm confused because if the demand for Hindu Rashtra is not an act of terror, why is the demand of Islamic Caliphate an act of terror? I am confused because when my government in 2016
are you saying that the demand of a Muslim caliphate is justified? Are you trying to now legitimize that? Are you going to say ये गजवाए हिंद होना चाहिए यहाँ पे? Are you saying कि बाकी जो रहते हैं उनके सर तन से जुदा होने चाहिए? What are you saying? You're confused. That's a given. We've known for a long time that you're a confused man. But where is this confusion going to end? Are you now going to legitimize caliphate? Anand Ranganathan, is this the most preposterous thing that we've heard in a long time, even from people as confused as Mr. Majid Haidri?
What is surprising to me from Majid Haidri Bhai is that he's saying today he's confused. I'm sorry. He's been confused for decades. No, but you know what should be really worrying Navika, the PFI and all its sympathizers and closet or otherwise, is that while the ED has a conviction rate of 0.5%, NIA has the conviction rate of 94.5%. आपकी ट्रेन आ गई है 94.5% conviction rate है NIA का. तो जितना भी आप जो कह रहे हैं,
no, please.
Navika, you know, this is unfair.
Majid Haidri, please wait for your turn. Don't be confused. This time is meant for Dr. Anand Ranganathan to speak, and you should have no confusion about that. Allow him to complete his point.
Thank you. As I was saying, they can wax eloquent as much as they want about कि NIA बिकी है, सरकार कर रही है, लेकिन जितना भी बिका हुआ आदमी अल्टीमेटली तो कोर्ट पे जाता है, और अगर कन्विक्शन रेट 95% है तो आप कुछ भी कह लें बिकी है नहीं बिकी है, इनका लिख चुका है, इनका हिसाब होने वाला है. But I have to also say this, that thank God the state has woken up. But one just hopes, Navika, it isn't too late. Do you remember just a few weeks ago the India Vision 2047 PFI document? Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
It wasn't so much a terror. Yeah.
From Bihar.
It wasn't so much. Yes. And it wasn't so much a terror manual. And it was a declaration of Islamic jihad against India. You have to understand, Navika, from Sir Syed to Iqbal to Jinnah to Jalaluddin, you have to understand the psyche. And I have to say this, that Ambedkar understood it really well, as he reiterated that as far as Islam is concerned, the world is divided into two regions, Dar al-Harb and Dar al-Islam. And Muslims cannot rest until Dar al-Harb is converted into Dar al-Islam. A country which is ruled by a kafir, said Ambedkar, is Dar al-Harb to a Musliman. The basic feelings of deference and sympathy which predispose persons to obey the authority of government do not simply exist. Unquote. Ab Ambedkar ko gaali denge. There is documented proof, Navika, that the PFI is an organization neck deep in acts of terror, bomb making, training camps, political murders, link with Al-Qaeda and Islamic fundamentalism. It came to prominence after Simi was banned. In fact, many PFI leaders are ex-Simi. This is not me saying this. So you can abuse me as much as you want. This is the Kerala police and the High Court saying this. Let me give you just one example of PFI's criminal antecedents. On July 4, 2010, PFI activists chopped off the hand of a teacher named Joseph for allegedly framing a question paper that insulted Prophet Muhammad. The irony was that Joseph had meant not Prophet Muhammad but Kunju Muhammad, the man on whose book he had framed his question. Joseph was sacked from his job. Joseph's wife committed suicide. In 2015, 13 PFI activists were convicted by the court for this crime. Hundreds of PFI leaders and activists have been charged under UAPA, all under the Congress and the Communists. But the moment the BJP comes to power, the former start supporting such organizations, play the victim card, hum khatre mein hai ji, chirag bujhane ki koshish hai ji, डरा हुआ मुसलमान है जी, and at the same time support such organizations that want to break up India. Navika, just 30 seconds. Remember in January 2020, Bangalore police arrested 6 SDPI men who for a mere 10,000 each plotted to kill the young BJP MP Tejasvi Surya because of his pro-CA stand. In fact, they came to kill him at a rally but couldn't locate him, so nearly killed an RSS worker instead. But then again, more than the PFI, it is the government that needs to answer as to why the Modi government hasn't banned PFI for 8 years is as deep a mystery as the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, it's not a mystery simply because we've seen in the past, state governments banning the PFI, and if the evidence is not strong enough, then these bans really are struck down by the courts. And mere conjecture on whether the Simi past office holders are now in this is not enough to actually convince a court of law, and that is the reason that the government has often given when asked this question. This time around, when the action has and the investigation has gone on for over 2 years, because in over 2 years, please look at the number of incidents that they have been involved in. And Advocate Hashmi, I want you to hear these. 3 people linked with PFI were arrested in connection with Kanpur violence. Karoli in Rajasthan saw violence in April earlier this year, again links to PFI. Khargon links to PFI. January 2022, Karnataka hijab, also the Campus Front of India comes in, which is, somehow to vitiate and create a polarized society, after which Hathras, there were links, and then Kannur, ABVP, 6 CFI men were arrested in that, and the list goes on and on and on. I want to ask you, Advocate Hashmi, in the middle of this, does the Congress actually think, and does a lobby that roots for this so-called phobia that they have about the BJP government's rule in this country, do they really think that this is in help of the nation in building up its national security, when a clampdown of this kind is done on PFI to bring in other issues and begin to justify them? It's a serious question on national security.
Navika, thank you so much for posing me this important question to me, and I would love to answer all your questions in 5 points. With all due respect to all the panelists who are appearing on this debate, I am just trying to make my submission in a very crisp and concise manner. The main allegation against the PFI, though I am not defending PFI, Navika, neither I am in support of PFI. As far as allegation is concerned, PFI is getting foreign funding, and PFI is organizing training camp, terrorist camp. It means nation is not in safe hands. Is the sheer incompetency of BJP government and sheer failure of BJP government. This fact we have to admit it. Our country is not in safe hands. So-called 56-inch is miserably failed to protect our country, and PFI is working in our country since 2007. So what prevented Government of India or BJP government to put a ban on PFI and SDPI? And the most important point which I would like to mention, and you have also heard about the statement issued by Yashwant Shinde. Yashwant Shinde filed a dedicated affidavit in Maharashtra court alleging that Vishwa Hindu Parishad is involved in doing bomb blast to give an undue advantage to BJP government in elections. What steps central government and BJP government has taken on the statement of Yashwant Shinde? Why same action has not been taken against RSS and Vishwa Hindu Parishad? It means BJP is indirectly trying to support the terrorist activities of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, and indirectly by virtue of prosecuting PFI members, they want to directly target on whole Muslim community.
Got your point.
They want Muslim community to be in
got your point, Advocate Hashmi.
accused.
Let me take that question to Vinod Bansal ji. Vinod Bansal ji, एक तो जवाब दीजिए ये जो VHP के बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट पे, पर दूसरा जवाब इस पर भी दे दीजिए कि देश आज महफूज हाथों में नहीं है, क्योंकि ये हाथ पता कर रहे हैं और क्रैकडाउन कर रहे हैं, तो ये देश महफूज नहीं है और फेलियर है मोदी सरकार का। लेकिन देश मजबूत हाथों में तब था जब इस देश में 2011 हुआ था, तब मजबूत था देश, तब टेरर अटैक्स हो रहे थे, और यूपीए सरकार के दौरान जितने भी टेरर अटैक्स हुए थे तब देश मजबूत हाथों में था। आज देश मजबूत हाथों में नहीं है, ये हाशमी जी का आरोप है, जवाब दीजिए।
Navika,
I'm coming back to you, Hashmi ji. You've raised a point about BHP. Allow Mr. Bansal to respond.
देखिए
नाविका
जी देखिए, झूठ बोलने की सारी ठेकेदारी इन लोगों ने ले रखी है। जो जिस डिबेट की शुरुआत लोगों ने, देखिए इनको जब बोलिए, ये इनको बोलिए थोड़ा म्यूट करें जरा। देखिए नाविका जी, मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ कि जिस डिबेट की शुरुआत
फाइल हुआ कि नहीं हुआ यार, शर्म आती नहीं आती झूठ बोलते हुए थोड़ी सी भी।
नाविका जी इनको बुलवा लो जरा।
फाइल हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, सीधे तुम बोल रहे हो झूठ बोल दिया, शर्म आनी चाहिए तुम्हें। क्या झूठ बोल दिया मैंने?
Let's not get personal. Let's not get personal.
नाविका जी,
all right, affidavit has been filed. Affidavit has been filed is your question. Now listen to the answer. Listen to the answer by Mr. Bansal. Do not.
Navika, this is not the way to conduct the debate. ये स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड नहीं बोल सकते कि झूठ बोल दिया, झूठ बोल दिया। क्या झूठ बोल दिया मैंने? शिंदे से शर्म आ रही है क्या?
ये बात, this is not the way to conduct the debate. The debate has to be conducted by this jihadi, not by Navika ji.
Will you teach me how to conduct the debate? आप एक दूसरे को जो लफ्ज यूज कर रहे हैं, ये वे, you know, the way you are using. No, I'm going to lower your fader, Mr. Hashmi. You know, you can't use this objectionable language. Let's be civil. You are an advocate. You know the law. And you know courtesies. Let's be courteous. We can be very strong with our point of view, but we don't have to be discourteous to each other. Vinod Bansal ji.
Navika ji, the thing is that when the person forget and don't try to say the truth of the story, they always try to this instigate or the allegate the others. The question is that कि ये जो है तो एडवोकेट और बात कर रहे हैं इधर-उधर की, आप देखिए कि जब आपकी डिबेट ही कैलिफेट से शुरू हुई तो उससे ही इनकी मानसिकता बड़ा स्पष्ट हो जाती है। गजवाए हिंद की बात हो या कैलिफेट की बात हो या हिंदुत्व की बात हो, इन सब बातों में इनका क्या माइंडसेट है, एवरीबॉडी नोज इट। लेकिन जहां तक सिंधे की बात जी इन्होंने कही, मैं कहता हूं देखिए ये वही है ना जिनके कार्यकाल में कितने ये जिहादियों के दंगे हुए, जिहादियों के हमले हुए, कितने अब जो आतंकवादी हमले होते थे। आप देखिए पिछले 8 साल में आतंकवादियों को शमशान घाट पहुंचा दिया किसने? नहीं तो हर वीक में कोई ना कोई एक हमला होता था। कभी किस मंदिर में, कभी किसी मंदिर में, कभी इस बाजार में, किसी हिंदू बस्ती में, यह हमेशा हमला करते रहते थे। लेकिन अभी चूंकि हमले की इनके पास गुंजाइश नहीं बची और अब जो हमलावर हैं उनको क्रैकडाउन करने का सरकार ने पूरा डिटर्मिनेशन के साथ काम किया है, इसकी वजह से बौखलाहट इनके नजर आ रही है।
लेकिन
कोई सफाई देने की जरूरत नहीं हिंदू समाज को।
उन्होंने
और देखिए कमाल की बात है माइनॉरिटी
के आदमी के ऊपर जो एफिडेविट फाइल हुआ है उस पर सवाल पूछा था, उस पर डायरेक्ट जवाब दे दीजिए हाशमी जी।
वो जवाब कोर्ट देगा, कोर्ट में जो एफिडेविट दिया है और इनको
कार्रवाई तो क्या हुई वही तो पूछ रहे थे ना वो कि वहां ईडी क्यों नहीं पहुंची, बीएचपी के दफ्तरों पे एनआईए क्यों नहीं पहुंचा। और सुनिए बंसल साहब, मैं बताऊं आपको, आप तो ये कह रहे हैं कि पीएफआई के ऊपर आरोप है 2047 में इस्लामिक राष्ट्र बनाने का। मैं आपको दिखाऊं, ये आपके चहीतों ने गुजरात में हिंदू राष्ट्र के बोर्ड लगा रखे हैं 2012-13 से। इस पे आपका क्या कहना है? क्या ये देश हिंदू राष्ट्र है या इसको निकलवाएंगे? इसकी जिम्मेदारी आप लेते हैं या किसने लगवाया है? इस पे बाकायदा नाम लिखे हैं, मोबाइल नंबर लिखे, इन पर ईडी की रेड कब होगी, इन पे एनआईए का एक्शन कब होगा? ये प्रॉब्लम है। जब आपके स्टैंडर्ड ड्यूअल हो जाते हैं ना, तब आपको देश के नागरिकों में भी अलग अलग तर्क नजर आते हैं। बंसल साहब, प्रॉब्लम ये है आपका।
चलिए जी जवाब दीजिए।
बोलने की परमिशन है क्या?
हाँ बोलिए।
मुझे भी बोलने की परमिशन है क्या?
बिल्कुल है।
जवाब ही तो मांग रहे हैं हम।
जवाब दीजिए।
आज आपकी डिबेट को एक देखिए जवाब देने का मौका नहीं दे रहे, बराबर हमला कर रहे हैं। आप देखिए जो पहले पत्थर फेंकते थे, फिर राइफल चलाते थे, फिर वो क्रॉस बॉर्डर फायरिंग करते थे और उसके बाद में आप जो है ना डिबेट फायरिंग शुरू हो गई इनकी। आप देखिए जिसके ऊपर एलिगेशन लगाया उसको बोलने का अधिकार नहीं है इस देश के अंदर। बात माइनॉरिटी की करते हैं और देश के अंदर जो तथाकथित 6 माइनॉरिटीज हैं उनमें से जो बाकी 5 हैं उनको बोलने का ही अधिकार नहीं है कहीं। वो तो बोलते ही नहीं बेचारे, उनको कोई तकलीफ भी नहीं है। लेकिन एक ही जो तथाकथित माइनॉरिटी है, हु इज द मेजॉरिटी अमंग द माइनॉरिटी, और वो वही जो है ना वो शेष मेजॉरिटी के ऊपर हमलावर है। चाहे धरातल पे देख लीजिए, डिबेट
जो बोर्ड लगे हैं हिंदू राष्ट्र के, जो वीएचपी ने लगा रखे हैं, उस पे क्या एक्सप्लेनेशन है बंसल साहब? मैं ये पूछ रहा हूं आपसे, मेरा एक्चुअली में गला खराब है, मैं चाहता नहीं हूं चिल्लाना। मुझे ये बताइए कि गुजरात में आपने हर चौराहे पे हिंदू राष्ट्र के प्रखंड में आपका स्वागत है, तो क्या ये 2047 से पहले 22 में ही नजर आ रहा है हमें? ये तो बताइए आप, इस पे एक्सप्लेनेशन दीजिए या कह दीजिए कि ये आपने नहीं लगवाए हैं या इसके खिलाफ कंप्लेंट दायर करिए, क्योंकि बीएसपी का नाम लिख रखा है उस पे बकायदा फोन नंबर लिख रखे हैं आपके कार्यकर्ताओं के सो कॉल्ड। अगर आपने लगाए हैं तो, और नहीं लगाए तो अब तक आपने बीएसपी के जिम्मेदार के तौर पे कंप्लेंट फाइल क्यों नहीं की?
चलिए दानिश कुरैशी जी, अगर आपका गला खराब में आपकी ये परफॉर्मेंस है तो गला ठीक होगा तो क्या परफॉर्मेंस होगी मुझे पता नहीं। चलिए मैं हाथ ऊपर हो रहे हैं, हैंड्स आर गोइंग अप ऑन द पैनल। आई एम कमिंग टू यू आनंद, 30 सेकेंड्स। विनोद बंसल जी आप जवाब दीजिए, 2 एलिगेशंस अब आपके ऊपर है, आप जवाब दीजिए।
देखिए, दो बातें बड़ी महत्व की हैं। भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र था, भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र है, भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र रहेगा। ये 2047 का इंतजार करने की जरूरत नहीं है। मैं कह रहा हूँ
से पूछ रहा हूँ क्या
मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, है ना, भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र है,
पूछ रहा हूँ,
ये हमारा मान्यता है। अब आप नहीं समझो तो मैं क्या करूँ? आप मुझे बताइए। देखिए,
अरे
भारत हिंदू राष्ट्र है, भारत की संस्कृति हिंदू है, भारत की मान्यता हिंदू है। अब मेरी बात तो नहीं सुन रहे। प्रश्न मेरा को ऊपर दिया, मेरी बात तो सुनोगे नहीं आप।
Dr. Anand Ranganathan, now the issue is caliphate versus Hindu Rashtra, because PFI has been raided. Now we've come down to we have come down to a point where we are questioning Hindu Rashtra versus the caliphate. 1 minute, Danish Qureshi ji. Anand Ranganathan जवाब दे रहे हैं।
थैंक यू। नाविका, एक तो ये दानिश जी जो कि मेरे बड़े भाई हैं,
दानिश कुरैशी, डेनिम कुरैशी क्यों बन रहा है?
दानिश कुरैशी जी
क्या कह रहे हैं आप बंसल साहब?
नाविका, कैन आई प्लीज?
यस, आनंद रंगनाथ।
वो जो आप कह रहे थे ना, उसका जवाब दे रहा था, आपने सुना नहीं ना, आप सुनते नहीं ना।
आई एम सॉरी, आई डिडंट गेट दैट, आई डिडंट हियर दैट। और प्लीज ऑब्जेक्शनेबल बातें ऐसी बीच में मत कहा करिए। अल्टीमेटली मीडिया को ही गाली पड़ेगी। You know, media is wrong because people who say. So please, I don't know what he has said, and whatever you have said, if it's objectionable, you know, please take it back, Mr. Vinod Bansal. But Dr. Anand Ranganathan, make your point.
No, yes, I don't say anything else. And we never say like this.
Oh, all right. Anand Ranganathan.
Yes, Navika, very briefly.
2 points. Number one. You know, this is like carrying coal to Dhanbad. There are some esteemed lawyers on this panel. I don't have to teach them law, but it is a fact of law that unequal applicability of law cannot be an excuse to violate that law. If action has not been taken against one organization, you can't say, why are you taking action against me? That is ridiculous and illogical. भाई, उसको मर्डर में पकड़ लिया, मुझे क्यों नहीं पकड़ रहे, या मुझे क्यों पकड़ रहे, ऐसा नहीं होता लॉ में। Number 2, when Mr. Shinde made those remarks, he was a UPA Home Minister. The government was UPA. Why didn't they call VSP a terrorist organization? Chidambaram made so many remarks, saffron terror remarks, all those remarks were done by the UPA. Why weren't RSS and VSP banned then?
Not registered by VSP also. Not any defamation matter has been filed in any court of law till today. This is the practical fact.
But नाविका, ये बहुत
दानिश जी, स्टूडियो का नाजायज फायदा नहीं
ऐसा नहीं है। वो आनंद जी जो बात कर रहे हैं, मैं तो उसी की बात दोहरा रहा हूँ।
चलिए, शिंदे साहब की अगर वो खत्म कर लें, फिर आप बोलिएगा जी।
हाँ, देखिए, दानिश जी मुझसे उम्र में छोटे हैं लेकिन लगते बड़े हैं, लेकिन ये जानबूझ के स्टूडियो आ रहे हैं आजकल ताकि म्यूट ना कर पाए आप।
चलिए, अब मैं नहीं आऊंगा स्टूडियो। नाविका, फ्रॉम टुडे ऑनवर्ड्स आई विल नॉट कम स्टूडियो।
लेट्स बी कर्टियस।
हाँ, वेरी कर्टियस, वेरी ब्रीफली। कल मैंने इनसे एक सवाल पूछा था, ये आंसर नहीं किया। आज सवाल इनसे पूछता हूँ, टेरर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बात कर रहे हैं। दानिश जी, सिंपल सवाल है, क्या याकूब मेमन और अफजल गुरु टेररिस्ट थे, हाँ या ना?
देखिए, सुनिए आनंद जी, सुनिए जिसको कोर्ट ने कन्विक्शन दे दिया, उसके ऊपर किसी की राय देना नहीं। आप मुझे ये बताइए, सुनिए मेरी बात। आपके इस सवाल से, आनंद भाई मेरी बात सुने, मेरी बात नहीं, आपके इस सवाल से उस सवाल की डेंसिटी खत्म नहीं हो जाएगी जो विनोद बंसल की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने लगा दी है। सवाल ये है कि सरकार के जब ड्यूअल स्टैंडर्ड नजर आते हैं, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पीछे कुछ नहीं है और दूसरे के पीछे
सवाल ये है कि जस्टिस के लिए गुरु और याकूब मेमन पे आप कुछ नहीं कहेंगे।
अफजल गुरु टेररिस्ट नहीं है, वो उसका मैंडेट होल्डर है बीजेपी की, जिसको प्रधानमंत्री दिल से माफ नहीं कर पाते और जिसके खिलाफ दिल से कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं। ये दो स्टैंडर्ड नहीं हो सकते।
घुमाते रहते हैं उसको।
मैं ये पूछ रहा हूं, क्या प्रधानमंत्री जी दो स्टैंडर्ड पे बात करेंगे कि याकूब मेमन
आपके दो स्टैंडर्ड क्यों है? अगर टेरर की बात है, अगर टेरर की बात है,
अगर हम देश के पक्ष में खड़े हैं।
माफ कीजिएगा, अगर टेरर की बात है तो याकूब मेमन और अफजल गुरु को टेररिस्ट कहने में आपको हिचकिचाहट क्यों है?
नाथुराम गोडसे टेररिस्ट नहीं है, सावरकर भी है।
अब दूसरा
स्टैच्यू लगाएंगे, सावरकर को
that is where I want to get in. 1 minute, and that is where I want to get in, Mr. Karthik Reddy.
So easy.
That is where I want to get in, Mr. Karthik Reddy. Mr. Karthik Reddy, you know, in a country where there is a crackdown on terror, we have a problem coming in from a certain ecosystem which even has a problem in calling out Yaqub Memon and Afzal Guru a terrorist, and they are making this a war between the caliphate and the Hindu Rashtra.
Navika ji, in India, in a democracy where we live within the boundaries of our constitution, if the constitution has approved the courts to define the criminal law, if the criminal law has decided somebody to be the terrorist, then we all have to take it in that stride itself. But today, I have to file my objection, Navika ji, with you. PFI, the ban on PFI or action on PFI has been an action which has been impending for a long time. There have been many debates on TV, there have been many actions called for on the streets and even in assemblies and sometime even in the parliament to take action on the PFI, which the BJP government surprisingly and somehow we can see through their action did not take any action as of now. Our stand is very clear, Navika. All the circus this country has gone through for the last 8 years with the BJP using the central agencies to benefit its own political gains, we still have some trust left within the central agencies, and we do believe NIA has some incriminating evidence against the PFI. So our stand is very clear. If the NIA has found incriminating evidence, they should take all the action required. But my question today is, इतना डिले क्यों हुआ नाविका जी? हम तो 2 साल से पूछते हुए आ रहे थे. There have been many Muslim friends of mine who have been asking the same question, why aren't you banning the PFI? Why aren't you taking action against the PFI? And my curiosity somehow tempts me to ask you this question also, to the BJP especially. Was this intentional? Were you trying to grow the PFI within your own site? Because you wanted the PFI to grow so that the Hindu majority would spook, and this is what eventually you want.
Oh my God! So you're saying this is a conspiracy by the government because the government wanted, the BJP wanted the PFI to grow. You know, now this
exactly.
This Vinod Bansal ji,
this is what,
क्या ये deliberate था कि ये action delay हुआ और कार्तिक रेड्डी जी ने ये आरोप लगाया है?
Navika ji, what a mindset they are having. It's very surprising actually. This is the ideology of party actually. This is the ideology anti-Hindustan. आप देखिए, मुझे बताइए आखिरकार जो सरकार, जो रक्षा का जिम्मेदारी जिस सरकार को दे रखी हो पूरे देश ने बहुमत के साथ जिसको जताया हो, उसके ऊपर ये आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि वो अटैक करवाना चाहते हैं, अटैकर के साथ बनेंगे. एक बात. दूसरी बात मैं कहना चाहता हूं, देखिए जब राम मंदिर की बात आई थी तो बार-बार हमसे पूछते थे तारीख बताओ, ये तारीख नहीं बताएंगे. जब तारीख बता दी और हमने राम मंदिर शुरू कर दिया तो अभी क्यों बनना है. आज अगर पीएफआई के बारे में जब बात हो रही है, मैं क्या, अरे भाई साहब मेरे को बात बोलने दीजिए. मैं बीच में नहीं बोला, मैं बीच में नहीं बोला.
सवाल ये
उठा, क्यों एक्शन नहीं लिए? राम मंदिर का हमको पता है क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ.
नाविका जी मुझे बोलने की परमिशन दीजिए प्लीज.
बोलिए सर.
देखिए पहले उन्होंने नहीं बोलने दिया और अब दूसरे नहीं बोलने दे रहे. आप मुझे बताइए. देखिए मैं वही कह रहा हूं, हमसे बार-बार तिथि पूछी जाती है कि क्यों नहीं कर रहे इस काम को. और आज भी पीएफआई के बारे में हम आपको पता है पिछले 8 साल में ऐसा कौन सा महीना है जिस दिन विश्व हिंदू परिषद ने नहीं मांगा कि हाँ इनको अरेस्ट करिए, हाँ इनको बैन करिए. लेकिन मैं कहता हूं देर आए दुरुस्त आए, ही शुड वेलकम नाउ एटलीस्ट. और मुझे बताइए, अभी भी तो चिल्ला रहे हैं, अभी भी तो बौखला रहे हैं, अभी एक कंफ्यूज है और एक अटैकर बन गया है. आप देखिए कि इस तरह की चीजें जब डिबेट में होंगी तो आखिरकार हिंदू समाज जाएगा कहां. मैं कहना चाहता हूं, देखिए देर आए दुरुस्त आए. अब वो अंत समय निश्चित है. अभी सारा विशेष सर्किल जो समाप्त होने वाला है, जो देश विरोधी शक्तियां चारों तरफ से अटैकिंग मोड में थी, अब वो डिफेंसिव मोड में आने वाली हैं. मैं कहना चाहता हूं कार्तिक जी को, कम से कम भैया अपने नाम का सम्मान करिए. पार्टी के साथ में आपकी आइडियोलॉजी के साथ कुछ और हो सकता है, लेकिन कम से कम आपको आज अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए. You should send a letter to the Prime Minister or Home Minister of the country that we really thank you. At least after 8 years, at least आप आखिरकार जागे तो सही. मैं कहता हूँ 8 साल क्या कर रहे थे वो देखिए, वो सरकार जानती है, उस बारे में नहीं बता सकता.
Majid Hydari, if you have gotten rid and if you have solved your confusion issues, I want to ask you, Mr. Majid Hydari,
आरोप लगाना ही तो आपका काम रहा है बस, और तो बचा नहीं कुछ.
Are you, Majid Hydari, still confused about the fact that PFI has attacked the fabric of India, and their names have come in so many of these cases? The Campus Front of India, the SDPI, which has had even electoral arrangements with the Congress party, have all been offshoots of the PFI, and it's a matter of record that people who were part of the SIMI, which is now banned, have gone and joined the PFI in very crucial positions. So I want to ask you, when the links in the Delhi violence, in the riots in Delhi, in the CAA protests, and in various cases in Kerala, Karnataka, when the PFI is named, why is there reservation on the raids that have been conducted? Can you answer that question for me?
Navika Saiba, despite that long and hypnotic lecture by Anand Bhai, I continue to be confused by it. Because in 2016, my government said that demonetization will end foreign terrorism. There will be no terror funding, there will be no foreign funding against anti-national activity. So now we have a case against PFI dating back to 2020, which says there is a case of terror funding, foreign funding, whatever you call it. Now, either my government was lying that time or the NIA is lying now. And two lies can't make one truth. The simple story is that PFI का बहाना है SDPI को बैन कराना है. That is the crux of this entire story. Why are you going for this big chant, this way, that way?
Anand Ranganathan, respond to Majid Hydari.
Navika, you see how cleverly Mr. Hydari made a distinction between PFI and SDF. Because his mind works like the militant organizations, how they work in Kashmir. You ban one, they spring up immediately another. Now, it is no one's grouse, and let me be very honest, Mr. Reddy also asked that question. I have been on at least a dozen debates, half of them with you, Navika, half with Rahul, on PFI. In every debate, I have castigated this government. They keep on saying PFI is a terrorist organization, but it's been 8 years and they still haven't banned it. Every debate, आप check कर लें. आज की debate में भी मैंने ये कहा. So the question is not why the government is acting like that. Yes, it is, and it has to answer it. But I repeat, for people like Mr. Majid Hydari to make a distinction between PFI and its political wing and say that you can ban one, not the other, is harping back to what is happening in Kashmir, and him just sitting idle there, not condemning the terrorism and militancy in Kashmir.
My brother, what BHP
and every time you say that I cause hypnosis or you are confused,
please show some respect.
I'm sorry, I'm not cooking up some Majid bhai, आपके लिए मैं कुछ बना के आपको खाने में नहीं बना रहा हूँ जो आपको मैं hypnosis कर रहा हूँ या आप confused हो रहे हैं. ये आपका ही किया जा रहा है. I'm doing that. I take no responsibility for you acting confused. I'm sorry.
My dear brother, I am saying what BHP is for the Hindi heartland Hindus, the PFI is for South Indian Muslims. So why are you displaying both of them?
Oh my God! What a statement is that? South Indian Muslims. साउथ इंडियन मुस्लिम्स जो BHP नॉर्थ में हिंदुओं के लिए है, वो PFI साउथ में मुस्लिम्स के लिए है. हाशमी जी, do you agree with that statement of Majid Hydari?
Why shouldn't he? It's a truth.
See Navika, I have read Constitution of India, I have read IPC, I have read UAPA, and I have not learned this thing that terrorism should be divided into religion. I can't say that they are Muslim terrorists and they are Hindu terrorists. NIA and our investigation agency should work in a proper and fair manner. I have seen so many Hindu organizations who are involved in terrorist activities, and I have seen Muslims also who are doing some terrorist activities. independent investigation should be done to nab all these culprits
please name
without
Hindu
looking into the
organizations
religion
in
of
terror
terrorism.
activities.
Like
Please name
in the present.
Please name the Hindu organizations in terror activities. Please name them, and we will raise a campaign for demanding action on them.
No, American government has said
Navika, you are like my sister, and I just want to say that please read UAPA Bear Act. In UAPA Bear Act, government of India has provided a detailed list of Hindu terrorist organization and Muslim terrorist organization. All complete list is enshrined in the UAPA Act. You can go through it. Ulfa, Maowadi, Khalistan.
Okay.
What you like?
Maowadis are not religious organizations, Baba. We cannot Are Maoist organizations now Hindu organizations, Anand Ranganathan? There is a new definition by Advocate Hashmi. Anand Ranganathan.
Naxalites मुसलमान है क्या भैया बताओ ना?
This is amazing. Naxalite or Maoist, CPI, Maoist suddenly now Hindu.
के खालिस्तान माओवादी हिंदू है कि मुसलमान है? आनंद जी का चेहरा ऐसा हो गया जैसे इनके कुछ पर्सनल सवाल पूछ लिया हो मैंने. ये ऐसे दांत दिखा रहे हैं कि इनके शर्म के मारे पानी पानी हो गए ये.
हाशमी साहब, लेट्स नॉट गेट पर्सनल. इसका चेहरा क्या दिखा रहा है ये तो सबको
ऐसे हंसने से काम नहीं चलेगा.
सवाल रखा है, मुझे उसका आंसर करने दीजिए.
हिंदू है मुसलमान है. नविका, एक शर्मनाक इंसान टेररिज्म को हिंदू और मुस्लिम की नजर से देख सकता है. शर्मनाक और घटिया इंसान.
तो मुझे बता दीजिए याकूब मेमन और अफजल गुरु के लिए क्यों गए थे? क्यों कहा जाता है कि हम शर्मिंदा हैं, तेरे कातिल जिंदा हैं? क्यों याकूब मेमन को कहा गया था जुडिशियल किलिंग? बता दीजिए.
देखिए, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लॉयर्स को अपीयर होने का राइट देता है. आप तो मोदी जी से बोल दीजिए ना कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को जला दें.
Supreme Court had given the death sentence, the midnight knocking on the doors and virtually holding them hostage. Anand Ranganathan, can that be justified? Can they come out clean today and say that they are not doing Hindu and Muslim in terror activity instead of blaming others?
Anand, to justify the act of constitutional mandate. This power has been given by the Constitution of India.
Navika, can I please have my
Hashmi, please, as an advocate, if you think waking up the Supreme Court at midnight is the constitutional power of lawyers, then please go and think again after the entire judicial process when the decision was taken. Hashmi ji, your display of your legal knowledge is, I don't know what to say to it, but you've displayed it to the country at large today. Anand Ranganathan.
Yes, Navika, thank God, Hashmi Saab.
With
I can't, I can't debate.
I'm lowering your fader, Hashmi Saab. You can't be a disruptor in chief.
Yes. Navika, thank God, Hashmi Saab के clients नहीं हैं, because अगर होते तो वो कहते कि भैया मेलॉर्ड से जज के पास जाके कहते कि सर हमने इनको सुन लिया टीवी पे, ये ऐसा बोलते हैं कि हम खुद लड़ लेंगे केस, हमें हाशमी साहब की रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं चाहिए. नंबर 1, जब ये कह रहे हैं कि कोई भी टेरर एक्ट किसी रिलीजन पे बेस नहीं होता, आई एम सॉरी, आई डिसएग्री. I don't care whether a terrorist is a bona fide Muslim or a Hindu or a Christian or a Sikh, but if he is carrying out a terror act in the name of a religion, yes, terrorism has religion. अब कल को ओसामा बिन लादेन कह रहा था कि in the name of Islam I am committing this act, आप उसको कहेंगे कि terrorism is no religion. यही यहाँ पकड़े जाते हैं क्योंकि इनके लिए याकूब मेमन और अफजल गुरु टेररिस्ट नहीं है.
And not just that, haven't you seen what's happening in Leicester, in Birmingham? And if I give you statistics, and I don't want to make this Hindu-Muslim, this whole issue has been raised by our friends here on the panel. I'll give you. You want to know the numbers? I'll tell you the numbers. Terrorism-related arrests between 2018 and 2022 in Britain have been 1600. In 21-22, 196 people have been arrested in Britain, and out of these 196 terror acts, there are 233 terrorist prisoners, 158 of them happen to be, just happenstance, just happen to be from one religion. 68% of terror. So I want to ask you, is Ranesh Qureshi ji, is Britain also a communal country? Does it also have a BJP-led government in Britain?
We are not talking today that
Britain
is a communal country.
No, why not?
But I want to respond to Mr. Ranganathan. Mr. Anand, मैं आपको ये कह रहा हूं कि जब आप लार्जर बात करते हैं तो आप बात करते हैं 100 करोड़ हिंदू की, जो अभी आशमी साहब कह रहे थे. आई डोंट वांट टू गो इन दैट मैटर. लेकिन जब बात आई माओइस्ट की तो आपने उनको एक्सक्लूड कर दिया. तो ये जो मीठा मीठा गप जो है ना आनंद भाई, इसको आपको चेंज करना पड़ेगा. आपको क्राइम को क्राइम की नजर से देखना पड़ेगा. जब आप रिलीजन का चश्मा पहन लेंगे ना, दैट विल मेक द प्रॉब्लम फॉर आवर ओन.
क्राइम को क्राइम की तरह ही देख.
तो वही तो मैं कह रहा हूं.
स्टैटिस्टिक्स का जवाब दे दीजिए ना. ब्रिटेन में 233 आतंकी कैदी हैं, मुसलमान उसमें से 158 हैं, 68%. मैं नहीं कह रही, ये क्राइम रिकॉर्ड ऑफ ब्रिटेन कह रहा है.
वो इंडियन मुस्लिम है? मुझे ये बताइए, क्या इंडियन मुस्लिम है? नहीं है तो उनसे हमारा वास्ता ही क्या है? चाहे उनको जो करना, they will deal, Britain police will deal with that.
से वास्ता है.
They will remember one thing, Navika, we have saw in India. अरे इस देश में प्रधानमंत्री के कातिलों को भी बचाव का मौका दिया गया. आप क्या चाहती हैं कि मतलब आज जो एजेंसी ने इन्वेस्टिगेट किया, that should be converted in conviction? You want that?
Anand Ranganathan.
Let court decide.
Anand Ranganathan is showing you something. Anand Ranganathan, please explain.
दानिश साहब, अगर एक हिंदू टेररिस्ट के फ्यूनरल पे इतने हिंदू आए होते तो आप सबसे पहले कंडेम करते, राइट? मैं चाहता हूं आप ये जितने हजारों टेंस ऑफ थाउजेंड्स लोग आए हुए हैं याकूब मेमन के फ्यूनरल पे, आप प्लीज कंडेम करिए. आप कंडेम करिए.
अच्छा, तो बिल्किस बानो का वेलकम करने वालों का कंडेम किया आपने किया कंडेम? आनंद भाई आपने किया?
बिल्कुल किया.
आई एम आस्किंग टू आनंद. आई एम नॉट आस्किंग यू नाविका. आई एम आस्किंग टू आनंद. आपने कंडेम किया? प्रज्ञा ठाकुर को एमपी बना के भेजा, जिसको प्रधानमंत्री जेल से माफ नहीं करता. ही इज द प्रेजेंट मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट. यू हैव क्रिटिसिज्म. सॉरी, why not? This is the problematic, Anand. This is the dual standard. We have imposed you on such attitude where you don't want to criticize the convictors of the British Bano.
You are saying terrorists don't have a religion. You are saying terrorists don't have a religion, Majid Hydari. Look at the number of people at Yaqub Memon's funeral. Is there a religion or not?
Madam, mortal remains are neither of a criminal nor of a terrorist. Mortal remains are mortal remains. That is why we want Partik Sharir in our Indian parlance, in our Desi parlance.
बिल्कुल जाइए, मजारों को सजाइए, क्योंकि mortal remains तो mortal remains हैं. कार्तिक रेड्डी, mortal remains of Yaqub Memon have tens of thousands of Muslims coming out, but they say that has no religion. Burhan Wani was also son of the soil. Afzal Guru has also been wrong. I want to ask you, Kartik Reddy, what is this mindset?
Navika ji, at the behest, I kind of made it clear, if my country, my courts decide a certain person is a terrorist and he's a terrorist for me, and it should be a terrorist for the nation too. My allegation is very clear, and I did not get an answer back. Somehow the BJP spokesperson have become experts at the glance shots. They glance all important questions to the third man or somehow to the finalist.
There is no BJP spokesperson on the panel, my friend.
If the BJP government was, I'm sorry, Navika ji, I'm sitting in front of the camera today. But even in general, if there was any BJP spokesperson, that's how they do it. My point today is, if the central government had incriminating evidence against the PFI for the last so many years, why were they sitting on it? This is BJP's age-old formula of pushing the Hindu majority into a psychosis of fear so that they can feed off it democratically, and voton ke माध्यम से they want to benefit this. My direct allegation to the on the BJP and the central government today is,
you know, even if I accept that question, even if I accept that question, then isn't there the same psychosis that is being used on the other side? Do you ever raise a question about your alliance partner, Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi, who on every occasion, you know, you have an understanding with him, at least at the municipal level. So I want to ask you, on every occasion he comes out and says that, you know, Muslims are facing the wrong end of the stick. He says the Hindu Endowment Act, you know, should be looked at, and Muslims are being put in a spot when the Waqf board is surveyed, when madrasas are surveyed. Are you with him then, when he fearmongers for the Muslims in this country?
Asaduddin Owaisi's patriotism has been put to test many a times for the past few years, Navika, and I know him personally enough to tell you he loves this country as much as you and me. If he stands, if he decides to
So are you disputing that Mr. Modi does not love his country?
Well, I don't think so.
Are you saying that Mr. Modi does not love his country?
I did not say that, Navika. I said, did I say that, Navika?
But you are saying, when I'm asking you a question on fear-mongering, you say BJP fear-mongers the Hindus for votes. And if Mr. Owaisi fear-mongers for Muslims, he loves the country is your answer. I'm asking you, does Mr. Modi or the BJP not love the country?
Navika, see, Navika, I did not say neither the Prime Minister or the BJP does not love the country or its citizens. That is subjective. Certain people have their own opinions about it. My allegation today is, it is the BJP which let the PFI grow into what it is today. If anyone is to be blamed, it is the central government and the Home Ministry and the NIA also.
Vinod Bansalji, respond to that.
नाविका जी देखिए, मैं आई वुड लाइक टू क्वेश्चन मिस्टर रेड्डी कि भाई आप देखिए कि जब मुनव्वर फारूकी को इन्होंने रेड कारपेट वेलकम दिया और उसके बाद में जो सर तन से जुदा के नारे लगे और रात भर हिंदुओं पर हमले होते रहे, तब टीआरएस होती रही। और मुझे लगता है जब हैदराबाद के अंदर लव जिहादी वो SC/ST समुदाय की बेटियों को उठा करके ले जाते हैं, उनको हाँ मैं बता रहा हूँ, आप बीच में आप बौखलाइए मत, मैं बता रहा हूँ। देखिए वो जो हबीब का जो सैलून की चैन है ना जी, वो चैन के जो गुर्गे हैं वो लगातार कितनी बहनों की हत्या कर चुके हैं वो लोग। आपको पता है, मैं आपको केस दूं क्या? Would you really get into the investigation done by
let's not make allegations that are not substantiated, Vinod Bansalji. Let's not make allegations that are not substantiated.
All right.
सुनिए,
what basis does the gentleman have to say?
You know, what case you are referring to, we don't know. We don't know what case you are referring to. Is there a point you are making on Mr. Owaisi? And the question about whether Owaisi loves the country and versus BJP.
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कार्तिक जी, मैं कहता हूँ ये जो ओवैसी को जो सर्टिफिकेट आप दे रहे हैं, उससे पहले ये तो सोचा होता कि कम से कम जो मुनव्वर फारूकी के शो के बाद में रात में जो नारे लगे थे और जो सरतन से जुदा के नारे लगे थे, आखिरकार उस पर कुछ बोलोगे नहीं बोलोगे? उस पर कितने लोगों का अरेस्ट किया आपने? आप फेयरनेस की बात करते हो, आप मुझे बताइए कितने लोगों को आपने अंदर भेजा? राजा को तो अंदर भेजना बड़ा आसान काम है।
स्लोगन करे थे पूरे जेल में हैं आज, पता करिए आप पता करिए नाविका जी से।
नहीं, कितने लोग जेल में हैं? बताओ ना कितने लोग जेल में हैं?
सड़क पे
और कितने हिंदू बेटियों की हत्या वहां पर लफ्ज़ियादी कर चुके हैं, पता है आपको? तेलंगाना के अंदर
कहाँ हुए हत्या?
तेलंगाना के अंदर बताओ ना कितने हैं?
What is this now?
मैं आपको बताता हूँ।
नेशनल टेलीविजन
कहाँ है बताइए ना?
Let's not digress from the issue. Vinod Bansalji, I'm not digressing from the issue of PFI. You know, this is not about every umbrella issue that has to be brought in. Anand Ranganathan, the question is, when fear mongering is being alleged that Hindus have been put into a fear psychosis and that's why the PFI has been allowed to grow. How do you respond to that conspiratorial charge being made by Mr. Karthik Reddy?
Navika, as I say, theorists have to be right every time, conspiracy theorists only once. So it is redundant if I answer what Mr. Reddy is saying or not. But his point is absolutely valid. And I wish there was a BJP spokesperson who could answer that question, because for 8 years, if NIA has unearthed so much of evidence incriminating against PFI, if BJP has been repeatedly saying since 2013 that PFI is a terrorist organization, then it should have been banned lock, stock and barrel. The fact that it hasn't is a question that will rankle the BJP and has to be answered by BJP.
Absolutely, the question have to be answered, but the question also arises, and I'll take this opportunity to give you a statistic, Anand Ranganathan. When you talk about the Enforcement Directorate and its conviction rate, then the conviction rate you're talking about is the entire cases over the last so many years, since 2005 when this act came and this government came and notified it. Right now, in the last 6 years, if I'm not wrong, 20 cases have gone to the court. 18 of these convictions have happened. In one case, there has been, it has gone against the ED and the court has not found favor with it. And in one case, the matter has hung in balance. So 18 on 20 is also not a bad conviction rate. The other cases are cases under investigation, as I am being informed right now. But the question is, yes, time has elapsed. Will this time around the action on PFI end up in a ban on PFI and on terror activities? Because national security is the question. The question is not about Hindu, Muslim, as some people who are in political parties are making it out to be. The question really is about proving this case in court. And may I just say, having covered all of these agencies for many, many decades now, international funding, getting details on that is a time-consuming process. There are secrecy acts, there are several layers that have to be gone through. And when you decode it, only then can you present the evidence in courts of law. But this time around, will that happen? Is the big question mark. Because if it isn't, then once again this will become a political slugfest. It will become fodder for elections, as many people have already begun to say. And we're just getting information that maybe some organizations are calling out for a bandh in Kerala tomorrow. Now, how can anybody justify that? Crackdown on terror leads to a bandh? Is that how India is going to be made secure? Think about it. People of this country need to think about it, as do political parties. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on the Newshour tonight. Good night. Be safe.
You were watching the Newshour at 9. Stay tuned. watching the News Hour at 9. You were watching the News Hour at 9. Stay tuned.
The most pressing issues, the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the News Hour Agenda. I am Padmaja Joshi. For the last 2 weeks, repeated images are coming in from the UK. From Leicester to Birmingham, where places of worship, Hindu houses, shops have been attacked by mobs of Muslim radicals. Multiple arrests have been made. At least 3 people have been sentenced for possession of a weapon. But the worst is that in all of this, there is the phenomenon of victim blaming. When these attacks happened, the excuse given was that the mob was protesting against an invitation given by the temple, by the Hindu community, to Sadhvi Ritambara. She was called an Islamophobe and a fascist in order to make the point that all this violence was only a reaction to an invitation given to a fascist. However, what no one actually told you is this, that the invite to Sadhvi Ritambara had already been postponed. Also, that she has in the past made multiple such visits to the UK to these same venues. You may have your differences about her politics, about her history, maybe even her ideology. But to use an invitation to her in order to whitewash blatant communal violence is extremely disingenuous. Also, it was said that these attacks were actually prompted by naked Hinduphobia. Hate that the leaders of this violent pack made no effort to mask. Listen to them in their own words describe the Hindu community with derision, contempt and unvarnished venom.
If Hindu temples like this do not stand by the BJP and the RSS, they need to come out in open official statements and state that they don't stand by the BJP and RSS. We will not accept half-hearted condemnation. We will not accept imams coming out and saying they don't stand without valid proof. We've had enough, and the people of Birmingham will stand up. Takbir!
Just your little bicep telling me you're no gangster. Just your little walking and talking rubbish is a living proof that you're no gangster. You're just fake wannabes. You've been watching too much Bollywood movies, Shah Rukh Khan. Watching too much Bollywood films and thinking they could come on the streets of Birmingham, come in the streets, our ends and come deal with us. We will teach you and we'll give you the respect that you deserve. So you want to beef with us? Come bring it to the streets and we will show you.
RSS and BJP people are not welcome in Birmingham. They're not welcome in Leicester. If you come out on the streets, we are going to be here to meet you. Saying all of this, the mob is making absolutely no attempt to hide their real intention and their feelings towards the Hindu community. Then why was Sadhvi Ratambara dragged in, if only to use as a cover for what at the end of the day has been proven to be nothing more than a communally motivated attack? Alright, joining us now is Sadhvi Ratambara herself. She's the founder of the Param Shakti Peeth. Sadhvi ji, बहुत लोग कह रहे हैं कि जो वायलेंस हुआ है लेस्टर में, वो इस वजह से हुआ कि आप यूके जाने वाली थी और लोग आपके वहां आने से खुश नहीं थे, तो ये अटैक नहीं था, ये एक प्रोटेस्ट था और आपके खिलाफ था।
पहले तो हम लेस्टर जा ही नहीं रहे थे। लेस्टर में हमारा कोई प्रोग्राम ही नहीं था। ये बात बिल्कुल गलत है। हमारा कार्यक्रम तो 5 जगह पर था, जो कि पहले ही पोस्टपोन हो गया था, क्योंकि अमेरिका के प्रवास में मुझे कोविड हो गया था, तो हमने इंग्लैंड का कार्यक्रम पोस्टपोन कर दिया था। लेस्टर में तो हम जा ही नहीं रहे थे, और लेस्टर में भारत आके हमें पता चला कि लेस्टर में तकरीबन 1 महीने से तनाव है। हम जा रहे थे बर्मिंघम, नोटिंगम, लंदन, इल्फर्ट, ऐसे 4 जगह मेरा प्रोग्राम था, जो हमने पहले ही पोस्टपोन कर दिया था, क्योंकि वहाँ मुझे अमेरिका में कोविड हो गया था प्रवास में। लेकिन मेरा कार्यक्रम पोस्टपोन होने के बाद भी बर्मिंघम के मंदिर पर हिंसक प्रदर्शन हो रहे हैं, इसका क्या अर्थ है?
हिंसक प्रदर्शन इसलिए हुए हैं क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये बीजेपी आरएसएस के जो लोग हैं, जो आप हैं, अगर संघ परिवार से हैं, आप वहां पर वेलकम नहीं है। हिंदुओं के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट नहीं है, हिंदुत्ववादियों के खिलाफ है, इसलिए प्रोटेस्ट हुआ।
हो सकता है, आप सही कह रही हूं, लेकिन जो भी है, आप देखो कि हमारे आस्था के मंदिरों पर इस तरह आक्रमण करना, मंदिर में तो भक्त जाते हैं ना भगवान के, वो आरएसएस, बीजेपी, कांग्रेस तो नहीं होता ना, वहाँ कोई संप्रदाय और पार्टी का विषय तो नहीं होता ना, मंदिर में तो भगवान का भक्त जाता है ना, उसकी आइडेंटिटी इतनी होती है कि वो सनातन के प्रति निष्ठा रखता है, इसीलिए वो मंदिर जाएगा। और मंदिर के प्रति क्या विद्वेष है? अगर बर्मिंघम में मेरे कार्यक्रम का भी, जो कि कार्यक्रम हो ही नहीं रहा था, पहले से ही पोस्टपोन था, अगर उसका भी विरोध है, तो फिर कांच की बोतलें मंदिर में फेंकने का क्या अर्थ है? इसका अर्थ है कि आप हमारे आस्था के केंद्र को टारगेट बना रहे हैं। आप अपने हिंसा के बल पर भय पैदा करके समाज को भयभीत कर रहे हैं, और अपने वोट बैंक के बल पर राजनीतिक लोगों को अपने कंट्रोल में ले रहे हैं। यही दिखाई दे रहा है। तो हमारा कार्यक्रम तो पहले से ही पोस्टपोन था, इसलिए हम सीधा एलए से भारत आ रहे थे, और हमको लंदन से ट्रांजिट करना था। जब मैं लॉस एंजलिस के एयरपोर्ट पे पहुंची, तब मुझे पता चला कि हम वहाँ ट्रांजिट नहीं कर सकते, तो फिर मुझे एक दिन रुकना पड़ा। अगले दिन फिर हम लॉस एंजलिस से न्यूयॉर्क होते हुए भारत वापस आए। हमारा इंग्लैंड जाने का कार्यक्रम बहुत पहले से ही पोस्टपोन हो गया था, और फिर एक बार प्रदर्शन, दोबारा फिर प्रदर्शन, और हिंसक प्रदर्शन, गालियां दी जा रही हैं, अपमान किया जा रहा है, और इस तरह का नैरेटिव बनाया जा रहा है। आप तो जानती हैं पद्मजा जी, भारत की जो भी हमारा चिंतन, हिंदुओं का चिंतन है, वो सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिना का ही चिंतन है। सारे परिवार, सारे विश्व को अपना परिवार मानना, वसुदैव कुटुंबकम की भावना, ये हमारे धर्म का मूल आधार है। इसलिए चींटी से लेके ब्रह्मा तक हम एक ही चेतना का दर्शन करने वाले लोग हैं। हम दिए और बत्तियां नहीं देखते, हम उसमें एक ही ज्योत देखने वाले लोग हैं। उन सबके ऊपर इस तरह का प्रहार करना, आघात करना, भय पैदा करना, ये कहाँ तक इसका औचित्य है? ये तो ब्रिटेन की सरकार को भी सोचना पड़ेगा, और हमारे अपने समाज को भी सोचना पड़ेगा। इस आग में तो सभी झुलसेंगे। अगर दुर्जनों का दमन नहीं किया गया और सज्जन निष्क्रिय रहे, तो ये स्थितियां हर जगह बनने वाली हैं। और इंग्लैंड तो इसमें हमें तो यहाँ आके पता चला, लेस्टर में तो हमारा कार्यक्रम था ही नहीं। अब ये झूठ फैलाया जा रहा है कि हमारे कार्यक्रम की वजह से वहां हिंसा हो रही है। तो वही वाली बात हो गई कि असत्य अभी जो है वो 1 मिनट में पूरे विश्व की परिक्रमा करके आ जाता है, सत्य अभी तैयारी कर रहा होता है। तो ये तो एक बहाना है। ये तो इस तरह के जो सोच वाले लोग हैं, भले ही वो मुट्ठी भर हों, उनके पीछे कौन सी ताकतें काम कर रही हैं, भारत की छवि को बिगाड़ना और भारतवंशियों को जो है भयभीत करना, ये सब चल रहा है। यही कोशिश अमेरिका के अंदर भी करने की गई थी और इंग्लैंड के अंदर तो इसका विभत्स स्वरूप है, जो कि बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है।
क्योंकि जो मुस्लिम एसोसिएशन ऑफ ब्रिटेन है, उन्होंने एक स्टेटमेंट निकाला, मैं वो स्टेटमेंट आपको कोट करना चाहती हूँ। वो कहते हैं, हिंदुत्व हेट प्रीचर Sadhvi Nisha Ritambara, who has incited hatred against Muslims and Christians in India and has urged her supporters to wage war against Muslims, has been granted entry to the UK. We call on the UK Home Office to immediately revoke her entry. वो कह रही हैं कि आप नफरत फैलाती हैं, आप मुसलमानों और क्रिश्चियंस के खिलाफ बोलती हैं, आप उन पर वॉर वेज करती हैं, उनके खिलाफ आपने एक वॉर डिक्लेयर किया हुआ है, तो फिर आपको यूके में एंट्री क्यों दी जाए?
देखिए, ये तो मेरा सत्य सब जानते हैं पद्मजा जी। हम मनसा वाचा कर्मणा, मनुष्यता के लिए मैं काम करती हूँ। हमारी किसी के प्रति कोई नफरत नहीं है। श्री राम जन्मभूमि के आंदोलन के साथ मेरी उस मूवमेंट के साथ भागीदारी रही है। उसके बाद इतने वर्षों से मैं बच्चों के लिए कार्य कर रही हूँ, ये सारा विश्व जानता है। और इंग्लैंड की पार्लियामेंट में मेरे कार्यक्रम हुए हैं, जहाँ के सांसदों ने भी उसमें भाग लिया है। और मैं इंग्लैंड पहली बार नहीं जा रही थी, 20 वर्ष हो गए मुझे, तकरीबन 25 वर्ष हो गए मैं पूरे विश्व का भ्रमण करती हूँ, सारे समाज से बात करती हूँ और खाली हिंदू समाज से ही बात नहीं करती हूँ। आप जानते हो कनेक्टिक एक स्टेट है, वहाँ न्यू टाउन एक सिटी है, जहाँ के अमेरिकन गोरों के बच्चे वात्सल्य में आते हैं। 20-20, 25-25 दिन हर साल मेरे कार्यक्रम होते हैं। हमारे लिए मानवता ही सर्वोपरि है, यही मेरे धर्म की मुख्य शिक्षा है। अब कहने के लिए तो आप जितना मर्जी मीडिया के माध्यम से, सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से असत्य बोल बोल कर आतताई हमें सिद्ध कर दो, लेकिन आप कोई एविडेंस भी तो दोगे। किसी भी व्यक्ति की जीवन को देखना तो उसके कर्मों से देखा जाता है ना। तो मेरे कर्मों को देखिए, मेरे कार्य को देखिए। और 25 साल की मेरी यात्राएं जो सारे विश्व में हुई हैं, जिसमें सारा समाज शामिल होता है। तो ये मुट्ठी भर लोग हैं जो इस तरह का नैरेटिव सेट कर रहे हैं, उनको बहाना चाहिए। और वो भारत के प्रति विश्व भमन है ये, और हमारी संस्कृति, परंपरा और हमारे सनातन के ऊपर आघात है ये। और लोग पैसे के बल पर, हिंसा के बल पर, भय पैदा करके और वोटों के बल पर ये सारा करने में सफल हुए हैं। ये तो निश्चित करना अभी बाकी है ना कि जो मेरे पे आरोप लगे हैं वो उसका निरीक्षण भी तो किया जाएगा ना। श्री राम जन्मभूमि के आंदोलन से जुड़ना कोई महापाप तो नहीं था पद्मजा जी। 500 साल तक हमारे पुरखों ने वो लड़ाई लड़ी है। हम घी के दिए नहीं जला पाए, पर अपने रक्त की अंजलियां देते रहे हैं। हमारा समाज वो है जिसने हिंसा झेली है, जिसने आतंक को झेला है, हमने उसकी कीमत चुकाई है। तो ये सारी बातें तो वितंडावाद है जो एक तरह से सफल होता दिख रहा है। लेकिन ये बात सत्य है कि कोई भी किसी भी तरह का जो वातावरण वहां निर्मित किया जा रहा है, वो कार्यक्रम का विरोध था, तो फिर कार्यक्रम तो हो ही नहीं रहा, फिर क्यों विरोध है, फिर क्यों प्रदर्शन है? और अगर प्रदर्शन है तो उसमें हिंसा क्यों है? और अगर हमारी आस्था का केंद्र वो है, तो आप उसमें कांच की बोतलें फेंक के, गालियां देके क्या सिद्ध करना चाहते हैं? अगर उनको रितंभरा से नफरत है तो वो मेरे से करे ना नफरत। उन्होंने मेरे आस्था के केंद्र बिंदुओं पे अपनी नफरत इस तरह क्यों निकाली? और लगातार प्रदर्शन हो रहे हैं, इसका क्या औचित्य है? सीधा सीधा दिखाई दे रहा है। वो भारत का विरोध है, वो सनातन का विरोध है। वो हिंदू समाज को भयभीत करके हिंसा के बल पर वो क्या दिखाना चाहते हैं, ये तो निष्पक्ष होकर सबको देखना चाहिए कि ये क्या है। अगर मेरे कार्यक्रम का विरोध था तो वो पहले ही से ही पोस्टपोन हो चुका था, और 1 महीने से वहाँ विरोध चल ही रहे हैं, उसमें रितंभरा कहाँ से कारण है? तो कारण वो तो बहाने ढूंढे जा रहे हैं। वो ये करना है, ये क्यों करना है, क्या उसके पीछे उद्देश्य है, ये तो फिर वहाँ की सरकार को और समाज को सोचने का विषय है। ये तो दोनों ही विषय हैं, चिंतन भी और चिंता भी।
क्योंकि जो प्रोटेस्ट हुआ है, जो अटैक हुआ है, वो आपकी हिस्ट्री के बारे में बताते हैं कि आपका जो बाबरी मस्जिद पूरा मूवमेंट को लेकर के, उसे गिराने से लेकर के आपका जो एसोसिएशन था, उसके चलते प्रोटेस्ट ना सिर्फ ब्रिटेन में हुआ है बट यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स में भी हुआ है। इसका विरोध किया जा रहा है। और क्या आप ये बैकलैश क्या देश के, दुनिया के अलग अलग कोनों में भी आप ज्यादा देख रही हैं? डिसमेंटलिंग हिंदुत्व की कॉन्फ्रेंस की जाती है, तो एक डिफरेंशिएशन किया जा रहा है कि यह है हिंदुइज्म जिसका हम विरोध नहीं करते, और यह है हिंदुत्व जिसकी एक सिंबल है साध्वी रीतांबरा, जिसकी एक सिंबल है आरएसएस, जिसकी एक सिंबल है बीजेपी, जिसका एक सिंबल है विश्व हिंदू परिषद।
नहीं नहीं, ये बिल्कुल गलत बात है। पूरी दुनिया में हिंदू समाज का बहुत सम्मान है। पूरी दुनिया में हिंदू और हिंदुत्व वो वैसे ही है जैसे जल और जल की आर्द्रता को अलग करके देखना, ये वैसे ही है जैसे आग और उसकी अग्नि तत्व को अलग करके देखना। ये तो नैरेटिव सेट किया जा रहा है। पूरी दुनिया में हिंदू समाज का भारी सम्मान है, क्योंकि हिंदू समाज ने अपने कर्तव्य से, देखिए पद्मजा जी, मैं बच्चों का कार्य करती हूँ। जो देवकी माँ की कोख से छूट जाते हैं उसे यशोदा पालती है, और हिंदू समाज भी अगर भारत भूमि को अपनी देवकी माँ समझता है तो जिस भी भूमि पे वो विदेश में है उसे अपनी यशोदा माँ समझता है। इसलिए भारी सम्मान हिंदू समाज का पूरे विश्व के अंदर है। ये जो चंद लोग हैं जो अपनी हिंसा प्रकट करके विद्वेष की भावना रखते हैं, उनके कारण ये सब कुछ होने वाला नहीं। सारा समाज अच्छी तरह जानता है। लोगों ने जिंदगियां खपा दी हैं विदेश की धरती पर रहते हुए, अपना परिश्रम करते हुए, तो उनका वो सदकर्म ऐसे विफल नहीं जाने वाला। ये तो इस तरह वातावरण बनाया जा रहा है, इस तरह का माहौल बनाया जा रहा है, कोशिश की जा रही है कि भारत की परंपरा को जो है अपमानित किया जाए। हिंदू और हिंदुत्व इसको अलग करके क्यों देखना? और हिंदुत्व या हिंदू, ये आतताई आतंक उससे जुड़ ही नहीं सकता। हमने आतंक झेले हैं, आतंकी हम कभी रहे नहीं हैं। लेकिन वही वाली बात है कि इस तरह के वातावरण को निर्मित किया जा रहा है, छवि बिगाड़ने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। लेकिन आप ये देखिए कि वो कितने अहिंसावादी हैं जो मंदिरों पर अटैक कर रहे हैं। उन्हें अगर किसी विचारधारा का विरोध भी करना है तो वो शालीन प्रदर्शन भी तो कर सकते हैं ना। आप कांच की बोतलें फेंक रहे हो, आप गालियां दे रहे हो, आप जो हो वो तो आपके कर्तृत्व से पता चल रहा है ना। तो उन लोगों के द्वारा कही गई ये बातें हम कैसे स्वीकार कर लेंगे? पद्मजा जी।
साध्वी रीतांबरा जी, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। When talking about protesting against fascism, if you resort to violence, it says a lot about your ideology and what you really stand for. You may have differences, but violence in the guise of protest is inexcusable, especially when it's only masking a Hindu hate. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका साध्वी जी हमसे बात करने के लिए। Meanwhile, back home in India, it's an unprecedented outreach by the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat. Over the last few days, he's held meetings with intellectuals and religious leaders of the Muslim community. The idea is to create an atmosphere of trust between the two communities at a time when even a madrasa and waqf property survey is being looked at with suspicion and is being used by political parties to foment a divide. In addition to meeting Muslim intellectuals earlier, today the RSS chief visited a mosque and a madrasa where he spoke to the children studying there. Earlier, another meeting was held at the RSS's Delhi office that stretched for over an hour. The meeting included former Chief Election Commissioner S.Y. Qureshi, former Delhi Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung, former AMU Vice Chancellor Lieutenant General Zamiruddin Shah, and RLD leader Shahid Siddiqui, among others. All issues from the sensitivity around cow slaughter to vilification of Muslims were discussed in these meetings. The effort remained. Let's dial down the distrust and hostilities.
जो पैगाम गया वो पैगाम मोहब्बत है। हमारे सबके धर्म अलग हो सकते हैं, हमारी सबकी जातियाँ अलग हो सकती हैं, लेकिन हमारा जो सबसे बड़ा जो धर्म है वो इंसान और इंसानियत है। भारत में रहते हैं हम सब भारतीय हैं। अब हम सब मिलकर भारत को मजबूत करें, भारतीयता को मजबूत करें। राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि है, हमारा मकसद सिर्फ यही है।
We requested him for an appointment because we feel that RSS and Bhagwat ji have great influence on a large section of Indian society, and we are worried about the toxic environment which has been building up in the society, and we believe that we must talk about it, we must find solutions, we might find ways to bring down the temperature.
सुबह 10 बजे वो आए, हमने उनको वेलकम किया और बताया कि वो पर्सनल विजिट के लिए आए हैं और स्टूडेंट से हमें मिले हमारे, और किस तरह से हम क्लास लेते हैं कुरान करीम की पढ़ने की, ये सारा उन्होंने देखा। बहुत सारी बातें उन्होंने पूछी भी कि क्या बनना चाहते हो, क्या पढ़ना चाहते हो, और इस तालीम की, इस एजुकेशन के साथ साथ मॉडर्न एजुकेशन कितनी ज़रूरी है आज के ज़माने में, ये भी उन्होंने मालूम किया और उस पर उन्होंने रोशनी डाली।
Now, when a meeting like this happens, you would think that it would be welcomed by all, especially those who say that India is under danger and the RSS is promoting Islamophobia. Far from it, the focus today instead was on discrediting those who went to meet Mohan Bhagwat. The prominent Muslim voices were dismissed as inconsequential, irrelevant and elite. Some others scoffed at this outreach as empty tokenism.
I am only afraid that in fact RSS is the de facto government. Modi rule is working under instructions and guidance from RSS headquarters. If Bhagwat ji is sincere in bringing Muslim community into mainstream of the country, then he must question the Modi government as to why there is no proportionate representation given to Muslims.
इलियासी साहब है, उन्होंने बहुत दिन पहले पूजनीय सरसंघ चालक जी से मिलकर निमंत्रण दिया था। वो बहुत दिन से पेंडिंग था और इसीलिए उनके निमंत्रण को स्वीकार करते हुए वो उनसे मिलने गए थे। और ये संघ के पूजनीय सरसंघ चालक समाज जीवन के सभी प्रकार के लोगों से मिलते रहते हैं और एक संवाद की जो सामान्य प्रक्रिया सतत संघ के द्वारा चलती रहती है, उसी का एक हिस्सा है ये।
अभी किसी नतीजे पर पहुंचना मुश्किल है। अभी एक पहल हुई है, लेकिन सबसे पहले है कि आरएसएस को अपना विचारधारा बदलना पड़ेगा। जब तक उसका विचारधारा नहीं बदलता है तो इस तरह के आउटरीच से कोई फायदा नहीं होगा।
Rather than have the issues of employment, of food, of life, of health to come forward, they in fact are putting forward this polarization thing.
भागवत जी, यही हिंदुस्तान है। आप भटक गए थे, अब आप सही राह पे हो और मेरा कहना मानो भागवत जी। प्लीज अप्रिशिएट, आई एम गिविंग यू गुड सजेशन। प्लीज कम एंड ज्वाइन भारत जोड़ो यात्रा अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ राहुल गांधी जी। आपको बड़ी आत्मिक शांति मिलेगी।
तो आप आरएसएस के लोग ये बताओ कि भारत के मुसलमान, ये जो सबका विश्वास का खेल है, आपका सबके विश्वास, सबका साथ में मुसलमान कहां पे आ रहा है?
So what possibly explains the criticism of even this exercise? Why would people criticize what is clearly an effort to try and meet the Muslim community halfway? Isn't it ridiculous that progressive Muslim voices also are now being cancelled only because they want to engage and not estrange? Or is this outright this outreach scaring those whose very politics depends on and thrives on ensuring that Hindus and Muslims, far from engaging in a dialogue, stay at each other's throats?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, we have Ratan Sharda, author, Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist, Maulana Sajid Rashidi, President All India Imam Association. But my first question is to Pawan Rao Ambedkar, national spokesperson of the AIMIM. आज after all these people have met, intellectuals, clerics, Mohan Bhagwat even went to a madarsa, everyone who met him has been cancelled. Why, Mr. Ambedkar? You should be welcoming this. You should be saying great.
Actually, they are not the intellectuals. They are the elite class persons. I have two objections. Two words used by two persons. One word is Rashtrapita and second word is Mr. Mohan Bhagwat is more powerful. More powerful. What is the meaning of more powerful in democratic country? There is no meaning of the powerful in democratic. No individual can be more powerful than democracy. In a democracy, we the people of India are the most powerful in this country. That's why we are talking about that person who has no authority, who has no constitutional post, who has no any political right or political head.
But he has a right to meet people.
Listen.
So, Mr. Ambedkar, when he wasn't meeting anyone, you said, oh, he's a Hindu supremacist, he hates Muslims. Now he's meeting Muslims, you are like, these Muslims are also bad.
एक कहावत है ना हिंदी में, दिखाने के लिए कुछ और है और करने के लिए कुछ और है. Now see the situation. Why Mohan Bhagwat is meeting with the elite class persons? Where were the elite class persons when the akhlaq was lynched?
वो तो मदरसे में गए थे, मदरसे में कौन से elite बैठे हुए हैं? छोटे-छोटे बच्चे बैठे हुए हैं वहां पे. और उन्हीं मदरसों में बैठे हुए हैं जिनको आप कहते हैं कि आरएसएस बंद करवाना चाहती है, बीजेपी बंद करवाना चाहती है, जिनको सिर्फ रिफॉर्म करने की कोशिश की जा रही है. वो मदरसों में पढ़ते बच्चे कौन से एलीट थे?
Yes, listen. The persons who are meeting with the Mohan Bhagwat ji are not authorized persons. They are not the representative of the people.
Who decides who's the representative of Muslims?
Yes, listen the answer.
Who will authorize?
Yes, they are not representing the people of this country, especially Muslims.
Says who?
Where were they? Where were they?
Says
were they when Akhlaq was lynched?
They were there
When
protesting.
the Altaf was
General
lynched?
Zamiruddin Shah was there seeking justice.
No.
Yes, he was.
They were
S.Y. Qureshi has been our chief election commissioner. He has been a vocal advocate of Muslim rights, and today he is a nobody. He is not even a Muslim according to you.
No, they are Muslim, but in the reference
सच्चे मुसलमान नहीं है.
I am not telling the सच्चे मुसलमान या झूठे मुसलमान. I am telling they are not the representing the people of this country, especially Muslims.
सर ये कौन सा एगमार्क का ये थप्पा लगता है कि कोई आकर के वहां सर्टिफिकेशन अथॉरिटी है वो कह रही है कि these are the real Muslims, these are the representative Muslims, these are the fake Muslims, these are the elite Muslims. Who will decide, sir?
Whether they have the right, whether they are the head of any political party, whether they are the head of any
political party ही represent करती है मुसलमानों को.
Yes, definitely we political party and religious institutions have the right to rise the.
ये ठेका किसने दिया?
No individual, whether they are not aware of the ideology of RSS, whether they are not aware of the ideology of RSS, I want to show you the reality of the RSS. See the situation.
Sir, before you come to the reality, because then that is a very wide-ranging debate. वो reality वो है जो आप देखना चाहते हैं. A man is literally sitting here saying, "Come talk to me. I want to talk to Muslims." You're like, ये तो real नहीं है. ये real है. ये जो मैं पन्ने पे लिख के लाया हूँ, which I want to believe is the reality. ये real है. आप बात करना चाहते हो आरएसएस से, आप सच्चे मुसलमान नहीं. आप आरएसएस को गाली दे रहे हो, आप सबसे अच्छे मुसलमान हो. Who decides this?
Country, whether they will solve the problem of this country, whether they
will you solve the problem of this country? How long has AIMIM been around? मुसलमानों की सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गई?
Yes. Now the question: why they are not meeting with the Prime Minister of India?
अरे सर, you are jumping from goalpost to goalpost. Okay, चलिए, let's address all of your issues one by one. Ratan Sharda, first you answered the question कि these are token Muslims. Pavan Rao Ambedkar has said Pavan Rao Ambedkar is representative of Muslims, but a Shahid Siddiqui is not representative of Muslims. S.Y. Qureshi is not representative of Muslims. Ratan Sharda.
Owaisi is trying very hard. Owaisi and friends are trying very hard to hijack the entire Muslim platform. They want to be the new Jinnahs. of a Muslim community which is always under agitation, always ready to create problems. This is from that class. Sir, मैंने आपको टोका नहीं था अम्बेडकर जी. अब मैं आगे और बताता हूँ. He talked of elite class. He talked of who is going to represent. Does he know what Dr. Ambedkar said about Dalits having tie-up with the Muslims and with the Razakars? He would not like to talk about that. I didn't want to make it personal, but he should know what Ambedkar's view were about tie-up with the Muslims. Very clearly, he talks of elite class. Who was Jinnah? Who were the people who got partitioned in all elite class? Who are your inspirations? Who was Qasim Rizvi, your forefather of Razakar? Which class he belonged to? To Nizam's class. So your class, talk of this elite class and all is so bogus. And in a democracy, be very sure politics is not one all for everybody. It is society, it is social organizations which actually strengthen the democracy. Very dependent on politics, you are doomed. These people from bylanes of Hyderabad want to rule over India in the name of dividing Hindus and Muslims. And very clearly, Owaisi's thought comes from the position where a book says that you cannot be friends with non-Muslims. Please go ahead, I will not quote exact ayat because I am not supposed to quote any holy book. But it is there. You can't challenge that. So if that is so, then my dear friend, you are living in India and Dr. Ambedkar talked about exchange of population. Did you support that? Do you support that today? And do you deny the role of Razakars and your forefathers like Qasim Rizvi in persecution of Hindus in Hyderabad state and asking not Nizam not to go with India but go with Pakistan? So you have never denied it. You have never apologized for that. So don't tell me what politics is. India is much bigger than politics.
First of all, I tell you, Mr. Sharda, Mr. Ratan Sharda, I just tell you in Hindi, ये रजाकारों की पार्टी नहीं है, हम कंडेम करते हैं. We extremely condemn. This is not the party of Rajakars. This is not the party of Rajakars. Why are you not talking about those people who met the Mohan Bhagwat? Whether Mohan Bhagwat has the capacity to solve the problem of this country? Whether
capacity, your entire behavior.
Why the people are not meeting with the Prime Minister of India? Why the people are not raising the voice in front of the
mutual dialogue? You cannot.
Why they are not meeting with the Prime Minister? Why
Mr. Ambedkar, let me just ask you one question. You are saying कि असल मुसलमानों का नेता वही होगा जो मुसलमानों की सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर चुका होगा. इन लोगों ने कुछ नहीं किया सॉल्व करने के लिए, तो ये नेता नहीं हो सकते, ये रिप्रेजेंटेटिव नहीं हो सकते. They cannot speak on your behalf. Tell me, has the AIMIM solved all problems of Muslims?
Listen carefully.
If not, then how can you claim to be representative of Muslims?
Listen carefully. I am telling that those people who are meeting with the Mr. Mohan Bhagwat is not in capacity to solve the problem. They have to meet with the Prime Minister.
They have done their own bit for this country. General Shah has been our Vice Chief of Army. We've had Shahid Siddiqui. He is the editor of one of the oldest dailies. We've had him as a member of Parliament. And today, according to you, all these people count for nothing.
Why are you not telling that they are not meeting with the legal persons?
Mr. Ambedkar doesn't know any reason to answer. What does he believe in Dr. Ambedkar? पहले आप बताइए, अम्बेडकर है ना? आप बताइए, आप डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर को डिनाई कर रहे हैं?
आप सुन लीजिए बाबा साहब के
बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर
सुन लीजिए बाबा, अरे सुनिए बाबा साहब की किताब पढ़िए,
हिम्मत है तो बोलिए,
किताब पढ़ लीजिए, रिडल्स इन हिंदुइज्म पढ़ने से दिमाग खुल जाएगा. रिडल्स इन हिंदुइज्म जाइए और उसको पढ़िए, दिमाग खुल जाएगा.
मत करो, वो सही है,
दिमाग खुल जाएगा. रिडल्स इन हिंदुइज्म. यू आर टॉकिंग फेवरेबल स्टेटमेंट्स. यू आर टॉकिंग फेवरेबल स्टेटमेंट्स.
यू आर राइट सर, सबको सब किताबें पढ़नी चाहिए, पर आपको भी और जो लोग देख रहे हैं उनको भी बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर थॉट्स ऑन पाकिस्तान भी पढ़नी चाहिए. बट एनीवे, दिस इज नॉट अबाउट बुक्स एंड व्हाट इज रिटन therein. It is about the simple question that do you want to put people in a box permanently, and when they uncomfortably try and step out of that box, you are like, not allowed, because we want to demonize you, we will always stereotype you as this. So Mohan Bhagwat has to be a Muslim hater. If he meets Muslims, then you will discredit that as well. हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी मोहन भागवत जी से मिल करके कौन सी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी? पवन राव अंबेडकर बोल रहे हैं, क्या वो प्रधानमंत्री हैं, क्या वो राष्ट्रपति हैं, क्या वो होम मिनिस्टर हैं? उनसे मिलने का क्या फायदा है? कुछ सॉल्व तो होना नहीं है, टोकनिज्म है.
मुझे एक तो छोटा सा निवेदन है कि बीच में बोले नहीं, कुछ लोगों की आदत होती है बोलने की, तो बात जब नहीं होती है तभी बीच में आदमी बोलता है। आपने बड़ा अच्छा सवाल पूछा, और ये सवाल जो आ रहा है कि क्या वो देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं, वो किस हैसियत में हैं, उनकी अथॉरिटी क्या है। मुझे लगता है कि डॉक्टर मोहन राव भागवत ने इन जो मुस्लिम लोग हैं, जो खास करके जो बहुत प्रभावशाली अपने अपने क्षेत्र में बहुत अच्छा काम करने वाले जो मुसलमान हैं, और आज तो जो मिले इलियासी साहब से, वो तो ऑल इंडिया इमाम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के चीफ क्लेरिक हैं, उनसे मिलकर देश के हर कट्टर को परेशान कर दिया। हर वो कट्टर जो चाहता था कि इस देश में कम्युनलिज्म हो, इस देश में हिंदू मुस्लिम लड़ते रहे, इस देश में सड़कों पर संघर्ष होता रहे, इस देश को लेकर दुनिया भर में उसी तरह से चर्चा हो, उस हर व्यक्ति को उन्होंने परेशान कर दिया। वरना आप सोचिए, राहुल गांधी अभी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा पे हैं, हर जगह उनकी जो रैली है उसमें वो दो बातें बोलते हैं, संघ ने सभी संस्थानों पर कब्जा कर लिया है और संघ मुस्लिमों के खिलाफ खड़ा है। वो ऐसी क्या बोलते हैं, संघ पूरे देश में हिंदू और मुसलमान के खिलाफ बांटने की, जहर भरने की लड़ाई लड़ा। ऐसे में जब डॉक्टर मोहन राव भागवत, जो राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के सर संघ चालक है, और ये पहली बार उन्होंने ये प्रयास नहीं किया है, वो बार बार एक बात कहते हैं कि हिंदू संगठन करना, हिंदू एकता करना वो राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ का आधार है, लेकिन हम भारतीयों को लेकर विश्व मंच पर जाएंगे, हम भारतीय के तौर पर कैसे व्यवहार करते हैं ये बेहतर हो, वो छवि अच्छी जाए, ये हम दुनिया को दिखाएंगे। और अगर इसके लिए वो 2018 में भी विज्ञान भवन में उन्होंने सभी के प्रश्नों का उत्तर दिया, उसके बाद भी लगातार गए, संघ ने मुस्लिम राष्ट्रीय मंच बनाया, और अभी भी अगर नजीब जंग, ऐशवाई कुरैशी और इलियासी साहब जैसे लोग ये मुस्लिमों के प्रतिनिधि नहीं है, तो मुझे लगता है कि इस देश में कोई भी जो जिहाद फैलाएगा, जो कट्टरता फैलाएगा, जो इस्लामिक कट्टरता को ही सब कुछ बताएगा मुसलमानों के लिए, वो मुसलमानों का सच्चा प्रतिनिधि नहीं हो सकता। और ऐसे लोग बौखलाए हुए हैं, परेशान,
कट्टरपंथी बौखलाए हुए हैं साजिद रशीदी साहब, क्योंकि अगर आपको रेलेवेंट रहना है, आप चाहेंगे कि हिंदुओं की तरफ से भी जो मुट्ठी भर कट्टरपंथी हैं वो भी एक्टिव रहें। मोहन भागवत जी ने क्या बोला है, पहले उन्होंने बोला है दैट देयर कैन बी नो इंडिया विदाउट मुस्लिम्स इन इट। देन ही सेड कि ये सही नहीं है कि हर मस्जिद के नीचे शिवलिंग तलाशा जाए। फिर उन्होंने बोला कि we condemn people who in the name of cow protection go out and kill Muslims। वो कट्टरपंथी जो हैं लगातार उनके खिलाफ बोलते आए हैं। आज भी जो मीटिंग हुई है उसमें यह बताया जा रहा है कि उन्होंने जाकर के बोला कि स्टीरियोटाइपिंग ऑफ मुस्लिम्स इज रॉन्ग, स्टीरियोटाइपिंग, प्रोपेगेंडा, विलिफिकेशन नहीं किया जाना चाहिए। आपको तो खुशी होनी चाहिए सर कि जो कट्टरपंथी हैं, जो विलिफिकेशन हो रहा है, उसको मोहन भागवत अमंग हिंदूज रोकने की भी बात कर रहे हैं।
देखिए मैडम, मैं आपको दो तीन बात क्लेरिफाई कर देता हूँ। एक तो ये जो शाही सिद्दीकी वगैरह की मीटिंग हुई थी मोहन भागवत जी से, वो 2-2.5 महीने पहले की मीटिंग है, आज मीटिंग नहीं हुई। नंबर एक, आज जो उमैर इलियासी के यहाँ मोहन भागवत पहुँचे हैं, उनके फादर की सालगिरह थी, जो होता है उस पर वो गए थे, समझे नहीं। वहाँ कोई मुसलमानों से मिलना या कोई ऐसा एम नहीं था कि भाई वहाँ जाकर कोई ऐसा संदेश दिया जाए। ये बात क्यों बढ़ी? ये बात जब बढ़ी जब उमैर इलियासी ने मोहन भागवत को राष्ट्रपिता कह दिया, राष्ट्र ऋषि कह दिया। मैं आपसे काउंटर क्वेश्चन करना चाहता हूँ, ये जितने भी मोहन भागवत के जानने और मानने वाले बैठे हुए हैं, क्या मोहन भागवत जी को राष्ट्रपिता कहना ये सही है? ये काउंटर क्वेश्चन मेरा है। दूसरी बात,
अब ये उमर इलियासी से एड्रेस कीजिए ना। अब ये मोहन भागवत की तो प्रॉब्लम है नहीं कि उनको उमर इलियासी साहब क्या बोलना चाहते हैं ना।
That's why we are telling. That's why we are telling.
आप मेरी बात पूरी होने दीजिए ना।
हाँ, पूरी कीजिए।
मेरी बात पूरी होने दीजिए ना, मेरी बात पूरी होने दीजिए। दूसरी बात यह है, आप जिन लोगों को ये कहना चाह रहे हैं, देखिए मैं इस पर नहीं जाता कि शाही सिद्दीकी क्या है, ऐशवाई कुरैशी क्या है, वो अपनी फील्ड में अच्छा काम उन्होंने किया है और वो मुसलमानों में अच्छी नज़र से देखे जाते हैं। लेकिन आज जिस आदमी ने मोहन भागवत को राष्ट्रपिता कहा है, उसकी लाइबिलिटी आप इससे चेक कर लीजिए कि जो आदमी महात्मा गांधी जी को नकार कर एक ऐसे आदमी को राष्ट्रपिता कह रहा है जिस आदमी ने बार बार ये कहा है कि हर हिंदुस्तानी हिंदू है,
के बाद
हर हिंदुस्तानी हिंदू है
कि ऑडियो क्वालिटी अच्छी नहीं थी। मतलब पूरी रामायण में आपको प्रॉब्लम बस यही थी कि थोड़ी ऑडियो क्वालिटी अच्छी हो जाए।
बार
इतनी बड़ी मीटिंग हो गई सर, इतना बड़ा आउटरीच हो गया, आपने उमर इलियासी साहब ने राष्ट्रपिता क्यों बोला, ये नुक्स निकाल रहे हैं आप। हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी जी ने इसका तो जवाब दे ही दीजिए।
सबको सुना, लेकिन आप
पद्मजा
बार बार
देखिए, आप एक बात समझिए,
बात तो पूरा होने दीजिए ना।
ये
आपकी बात पे वापस आओगी, पर आपकी जो ये नाराजगी है इसका एड्रेस कर लेने दीजिए हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी
साहब ने।
अरे भाई साहब,
अगर इलियासी साहब ने डॉक्टर मोहन राव भागवत के लिए इन शब्दों का इस्तेमाल किया, इसका मतलब कि उनके मन में वो सम्मान का भाव रहा होगा। और देश में बहुत से लोग हैं जो मानते हैं कि डॉक्टर मोहन राव भागवत राष्ट्र ऋषि जैसे हैं, उनके जीवन व्यवहार को लेकर वो जिस तरह से रहते हैं, और जब से वो सरसंघ चालक बने, मैं ढेरों ऐसे वाकये गिना सकता हूं कि जब आरोप लगाने वाले लगातार संघ को एक सींखचे में, एक दायरे में, एक खांचे में बांधने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो संघ उस दायरे को तोड़कर निकल जाता है। और ये सवाल इसीलिए बड़ा हो रहा है कि क्या संघ का सबके साथ,
ये तो अच्छी बात है ना कि कुछ ऐसा बोला गया दोनों के बीच में कि हॉस्टिलिटी। आप खुश रहते अगर वो कहते हैं कि ये तो इस्लामोफोबिक हैं, ये तो मुस्लिम हेटर हैं। अब वो कह रहे हैं कि राष्ट्र ऋषि है। राष्ट्र ऋषि कैसे बोल दिया साजिद?
मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं इस बात को।
अच्छी बात
मैंने कब बोला है कि अगर वो ऐसा बोलते तो मैं खुश होता? मैंने तो नहीं बोला ऐसा। मैं सिर्फ ये, अब सुनिए ना, मेरी बात तो पूरी होने दीजिए, आप बार बार मुझे टोक रही हैं। मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहता हूं, ये राष्ट्रपिता उमर इलियासी के हो सकते हैं, पिता हो सकते हैं उनके, धर्मेंद्र जी के पिता हो सकते हैं, हर्षवर्धन जी के पिता हो सकते हैं, या जो और लोग बैठे हैं या आरएसएस से जुड़े उनके पिता हो सकते हैं। राष्ट्रपिता तो नहीं है।
चलिए ठीक है,
जो लोग इनको राष्ट्रपिता कह रहे हैं वो महात्मा गांधी को नकार रहे हैं, वो गोडसे की थ्योरी ला रहे हैं, वो गोडसे की थ्योरी ला रहे हैं देश के अंदर।
रशीदी जी की है, यही समस्या है जो इलियासी साहब।
अरे आप मानते हैं क्या? आप मानते हैं कि उनको राष्ट्रपिता,
ये समझना जरूरी है।
राष्ट्रपिता मानते हैं क्या?
किसी एक के पिता
आप राष्ट्रपिता मानते हैं क्या?
नहीं हो सकते। इस
हर्षवर्धन आप राष्ट्रपिता मानते हैं क्या? बोलिए ना, आप अपनी जुबान से क्यों नहीं बोलते?
बेहतर क्या होगा? रशीदी साहब
आप अपनी जुबान से क्यों नहीं बोलते कि हाँ वो राष्ट्रपिता है? बोलिए,
मैं बोल दूं।
रतन शारदा जी भी आपको कुछ बताना चाहते हैं। मिस्टर शारदा,
आप क्यों नहीं बोलते?
बोलने वाले इलियासी क्या मोहन भागवत जी ने उसको स्वीकार किया? अरे मैं बोलता हूँ ना, बोलता हूँ मौलाना साहब, बोलता हूँ। देखिए, पहला प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये जो यहाँ बैठे हैं, इनको मुस्लिम समाज मौलानाओं और मौलवियों की पकड़ से पढ़े लिखे लोग जाना स्वीकार नहीं है। इसके लिए जितने भी लोग मिले ये भागवत जी को, इनसे उनका विरोध है। जहां तक उनको राष्ट्रपिता राष्ट्रऋषि कहने का सवाल है, संघ के 97 साल के इतिहास में किसी भी, सुनिए, अरे बात सुन लीजिए ना, सुन लीजिए, अरे सुन लीजिए भाई साहब,
मेरा विरोध नहीं है उनसे।
अरे सुन तो लीजिए,
विरोध नहीं।
अरे भाई,
अच्छा चलिए अगली मीटिंग आपको भी करनी चाहिए मोहन भागवत जी से। आप नहीं विरोध करते ना, प्रेम है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, होना चाहिए।
ऐसे मौलाना को जानता हूँ जिन्होंने मुझे कहा है कि मुझे मोहन भागवत जी से मिलवाइए। दूसरी बात, 97, अरे प्लीज
आप उनको राष्ट्रपिता मानते हैं क्या?
अरे वही तो जवाब दे रहा हूँ ना।
आप उनको राष्ट्रपिता मानते हैं क्या?
अरे वही
हर्षवर्धन को राष्ट्रपिता मानते हैं?
अच्छा चलिए सवाल पूछ लिया, जवाब देने दीजिए। ओके, रतन शारदा कम ऑन।
मैंने क्या कहा, 97 साल के इतिहास में कभी भी आरएसएस के किसी लीडर ने कोई पदवी धारण नहीं की, किसी स्वयंसेवक ने आरएसएस की लीडर को कोई पदवी नहीं दी। और मैं कहता हूं कि उनको राष्ट्रपिता की उपाधि ना चाहिए, ना हम मानते हैं। अरे कह दिया ना भी आपको, अब शांति रखिए। हम कहते आजम नहीं बोलते किसी को, हम किसी को खुदा नहीं बोलते, हम किसी को प्रॉफिट नहीं बोलते। संघ के अंदर किसी भी अधिकारी को राष्ट्रपिता वगैरह वगैरह कहने का ना हम मानते हैं ना वो मानते हैं। कृपया आरएसएस की हिस्ट्री देख लीजिए 97 ईयर्स की। मैंने बोल दिया, फिर भी बोले जा रहे हैं। अरे आपका पेट क्यों?
चलिए, अगर कोई पदवी दे रहा है, पवन राव अंबेडकर जी, मोहन भागवत ने कभी नहीं बोला कि हमें राष्ट्रपिता का दर्जा चाहिए या गांधी जी का हम राइवल कर रहे हैं। अगर ये कोई पदवी देता है, अगर ये प्रेम से कोई बोलता है, ये उनकी मर्जी है। द लार्जर पिक्चर हाउएवर मस्ट नॉट बी फॉरगॉटन। द फैक्ट दैट दिस इज कमिंग एट अ time, and let me quote to you from reports about an earlier meeting that took place between these intellectuals and between Mohan Bhagwat. Very candidly he is saying कि देखिए, काउ स्लॉटर से हमारी सेंसिटिविटीज जुड़ी हुई हैं, we should have sensitivities about how other people feel. He says कि आप नॉन मुस्लिम्स को काफिर मत बोला कीजिए। तो इन लोगों ने बोला मोहन भागवत जी को कि काफिर जो लफ्ज है वो इंडिया को बिलोंग नहीं करता, वो बाहर से आया है और किसी को काफिर बोलना ये हमारे मजहब का हिस्सा नहीं है। दिस इज द डायलॉग दैट इज नीडेड, राइट? या हमेशा एक दूसरे के गले पे पकड़े रहेंगे?
डायलॉग ही तो
अच्छी बात है ना डायलॉग। टुडे द आरएसएस इज सेइंग कि ओवैसी साहब मिलना चाहते हैं, आप मिलिए मोहन भागवत से।
यस आंसर सुनिए, आप आंसर सुन लीजिए ना। शारदा साहब होल्ड ऑन
सारी राजनीतिक जीवन।
शारदा साहब सुन लीजिए, आंसर सुन लीजिए। पद्मजा जी काइंडली
इनको बोलने दीजिए।
काइंडली मैं एक बिंदु पे आता हूं। पहले आपने कहा कि मोहन भागवत साहब ने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया कि यह देश बिना मुस्लिम्स के नहीं बन सकता है। मैं एक कोटेशन मोहन भागवत जी का पढ़ देता हूं, आप उसको सुन लीजिए। इट इज नॉट दैट सिंस इट्स अ हिंदू राष्ट्र मुस्लिम्स आर नॉट अलाउड हियर। It is said Muslims cannot stay in India. It is not Hindutva. This statement was given by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat. Second क्वेश्चन पे आता हूँ, काउ स्लॉटर की बात करिए। सुन लीजिए, काउ स्लॉटर
कि ये कहना कि मुसलमान इंडिया में नहीं रह सकते इज नॉट हिंदुत्व।
सेकंड सुनिए, सुन तो लीजिए शारदा साहब, असलियत सुनिए, सच्चाई सुनिए ना, सुनिए। आपको मैं असलियत सुना रहा हूँ, मैं असलियत सुना रहा हूं, सुन लीजिए। लिसन
में गलत क्या है?
अब आप इसको सुनिए और समझिए। अब इसको
रतन शारदा जी, he's coming up with the counter. अच्छा तो बताइए आपके हिसाब से सच्चाई क्या है?
Yes. I tell you.
Okay, go on, Mr. Ambedkar.
Kindly listen.
अरे पहले
दिस स्टेटमेंट तो करिए। कम ऑन, लिसन।
सेंटेंस का खुलासा कीजिए। आपको
यस
समझ आया क्या?
बिल्कुल समझ में आया, सुन लीजिए। अरे सुनिए तो, आप सुनेंगे।
टाइम प्लीज मिस्टर अम्बेडकर।
सुनिए गोलवालकर साहब ने अपनी पुस्तक में, अब सुन लीजिए ना, अब आप काउंटर नहीं, मैं रियलिटी सुना रहा हूं। सुनिए, गोलवालकर साहब ने अपनी पुस्तक में लिखा, व्हाट Hindus don't waste your energy in fighting the Britishers. Save your energy to fight your internal enemies that are Muslims, Christians, and communists. So this is the base of this
you know
statement.
it as well as I do, and that is the problem.
So
there will always be people who will want to dwell in the past but not tell your constituency that in 2018 Mohan Bhagwat, who is the current Sarsanchalak, very clearly said, as far as a bunch of thoughts goes, every statement carries a context of time and circumstance. His enduring thoughts are in popular edition, which we have removed all remarks that have a temporary context and retained those that will endure for ages. You will not find the Muslim is an enemy remark there. Bunch of thoughts के बारे में मोहन भागवत जी ने 2018 में साफ-साफ कहा था, despite the fact that even some of the more fundamentalist people in the Hindu religion were upset with him, but he went out and he said it. But the point is, you don't like that. आप 2018 का उनका वाक्य नहीं बोलेंगे, आप गोलवलकर जी की bunch of thoughts से कोट करेंगे because it suits you. हर्षवर्धन, okay, रतन शारदा wants to respond. हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी।
थॉट्स भी नहीं है पद्मजा जी, आप नहीं जानती, ये बंदा 1939 की सुई अटकी है इसकी, जिस किताब को गुरुजी डिसोन कर चुके थे, उसके बाद में सत्संग चालक पढ़े थे। ये अनपढ़ आदमी 1939 के बाद इन्होंने कभी कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं है। गुरुजी 1971 क्लियरली सेड,
जला पाएंगे इस पुस्तक को बैन करा दीजिए ना, इस पुस्तक को बैन कराइए ना।
गुरुजी की बात,
डू यू हैव द करेज टू बैन दिस?
सुनना नहीं है।
डू यू हैव द करेज टू बैन दिस बुक? डू यू हैव द करेज टू बैन दिस बुक?
Pavan Ambedkar ji, you are only underlining the point that you want to always project things that are problematic and divisive. पूरी दुनिया बात कर रही है रिफॉर्म की, Hinduism will do one reform after another. You will come on TV and say पर हिंदुइज्म में तो मनुस्मृति है। एक घर दिखा दीजिए जहां पर कोई भी मनुस्मृति को पढ़ता हो, कभी जिंदगी में पढ़ी हो। दुनिया भर के रिफॉर्म हो गए, आप हिंदुइज्म को मनुस्मृति से जोड़ेंगे। दुनिया भर के रिफॉर्म आरएसएस कर रही है, आप बार बार बंच ऑफ थॉट्स का वो एक वाक्य लेकर के आ जाएंगे। कैसे डायलॉग होगा सर जब आप डिवाइड करने में इतने जुटे हो?
बैन करा सकते हैं। Do you have the courage to ban this book?
आप बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर की थॉट्स ऑन पाकिस्तान हैदराबाद में जला सकते हैं तो जला दीजिए। आप बी आर अम्बेडकर की थॉट्स ऑन पाकिस्तान जला सकते हैं हैदराबाद में तो बताइए, बैन कराएंगे हैदराबाद में बी आर अम्बेडकर व्हाट ही सेड अबाउट पाकिस्तान एंड मुस्लिम्स? देन गेट दैट बैन फर्स्ट।
Why?
But sir, these things have a context in the time that they existed, and you know it, sir, because you yourself are a professor.
Do you have the courage to ban these books?
But then you ban now. What Mr. Ambedkar said. Harshvardhan Tripathi. Harshvardhan Tripathi. Harshvardhan Tripathi.
पद्मजा, देखिए पवन अंबेडकर वहीं पहुंच गए जहां इनको नहीं पहुंचना चाहिए। दुनिया बैन करने से, किसी के खिलाफ फतवा जारी करने से, सरतन से जुदा करने से आधुनिक दुनिया में आ रही है। पवन राव अंबेडकर पीछे जा रहे हैं। और यहां मैं एक बात कह दूं, जो अभी के सरसंघ चालक हैं डॉक्टर मोहन राव भागवत जी, उनका एक बयान मैं आपको याद दिलाता हूं। उन्होंने कहा था कि ऐसा नहीं कि केशव राव जो कहकर चले गए हैं हम उससे आगे उसके पीछे कुछ और नहीं कर सकते। डॉक्टर केशव राव बलिराम हेडगेवार राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के संस्थापक सरसंघचालक थे। और मैं इसीलिए कह रहा हूं कि जो रेजिमेंटेड कहते हैं, जो कहते हैं कि संघ एक दायरे में बंधा हुआ है, उनको आईना दिखा रहे हैं मोहन भागवत। और इसीलिए इनकी मुश्किल बढ़ी है कि ये जिस दायरे में, जिस खांचे में राजनीतिक तरीके से संघ को बांधना चाह रहे थे, उसमें वो नहीं बांध रहे, इसलिए परेशानी, इसलिए कट्टरता और हावी करना चाहते हैं, कट्टर तरीके से बहस को चलाना चाहते हैं।
बिल्कुल गलत।
And this is exactly the kind of kattarta and fundamentalism which is great for both sides, politicians on either side of the political divide, but it is the people who will lose out. And if you really want to know how things from history can be misquoted in the current context, do go back, like I said, and read Partition of India or Pakistan. That is the book by Baba Saheb Ambedkar and what he had said at that time. We can't be quoting things out of context at a time when you're looking for reconciliation. All such efforts must be welcomed. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for having joined me.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break. Watching the News Hour at 10. The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break. News Hour at 10.
The most pressing issue the most informed minds, free and fair exchange. Converse India with Rahul Shivshankar. The all-new Vivo V25 series. Vivo.
आपसे किए वादों को निभा रहे हैं हम। शुरुआत भ्रष्टाचार से। 9501-200-200 याद कर लो ये नंबर चंगी तरह से।
याद कर लो ये नंबर, जहां लिखना है वहां लिख लो ये नंबर। ये नंबर है शुरुआत का, करप्शन फ्री पंजाब का। पंजाब अपनी आन अपनी शान फिर पाएगा, किसका है जिगरा यहाँ जो हमें रोक पाएगा। क्योंकि काम बोलता है, साडा काम बोलता है, बस काम बोलता है, साडा काम बोलता है, सिर्फ काम बोलता है, साडा काम बोलता है। शिक्षा को ऊंचाई पर ले जाने की तैयारी है, शिक्षा को ऊंचाई पर ले जाने की तैयारी। बेरोजगारी को घुटनों पर लाने की अब बारी है। पंजाबी या पंजाब छोड़कर नहीं जाएगा, हर मोहल्ला पास अपने क्लिनिक अब पाएगा। अनाज का हर दाना हम उठाएंगे, दाने 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 की कीमत चुकाएंगे। पंजाब अपनी आन अपनी शान फिर पाएगा, किसका है जिगरा यहाँ जो हमें रोक पाएगा। क्योंकि काम बोलता है, साडा काम बोलता है, बस काम बोलता है, साडा काम बोलता है, सिर्फ काम बोलता है, साडा काम बोलता है।
आपकी आन और पंजाब की शान अब हमारा मान है। हमने जो कहा वो करके दिखाएंगे। पंजाब को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाने की शुरुआत हो चुकी है। पंजाब
sporty, smart, stunning. Celebrate the festival of happiness with Renault and take advantage of exclusive benefits.
जब कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स मिलेगी 30% ऑफ में, तब शुरू होगी त्योहार की असली तैयारी। जियो मार्ट त्योहार रेडी सेल के साथ 23 से 27 सितंबर। डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ।
हाँ, बच्चों जैसा जुनून और क्यूरियोसिटी 150 सालों से। Valvoline, the original engine oil.
घर बैठे बैठे 20% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा, फिर भी बाहर जाऊँ? सॉरी, कहीं नहीं जाऊंगा। फार्मेसी ऐप पे जा सकते हैं।
फार्मेसी पे मिलेगी हर ऑर्डर पे बड़ी सेविंग्स।
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching News Now Overnight with me, Priya Bhail. Here are the top stories that made headlines today. 106 PFI activists arrested in the biggest ever pan-India crackdown on the Popular Front of India over suspected terror funding. Union Home Minister holds a review meeting following multiple probes linking PFI to agitations over hijab, CAA, Delhi riots and Sartan Se Juda hate chants. PFI cadre and supporters protest raids by blocking National Highway in Kerala's Injakal. Agitators chant anti-NIA slogans, call for dawn to dusk hartal in the southern state tomorrow. PFI's terror links under lens focus shifts on political patronage to radical front. BJP says the Owaisi's AIMIM and KCR's TRS to blame for endangering security through appeasement. Cops lathi charge PFI activists protesting against the NIA at Gyanvapi village in Koppal district. Congress politicizes raids, equates PFI with the RSS, questions why no raids are being conducted on RSS and Bajrang Dal. PFI General Secretary Anis Ahmed amongst 3 state chiefs arrested, all accused taken to special court in Delhi. NIA has been given 4-day custody of all Delhi PFI activists arrested after multi-agency raids. Aam Aadmi Party versus Centre face-off shifts to Punjab. Maan government mulls to move SC against governor's blocking of special session for trust vote as unconstitutional. Carrying placards and messages of Stop Murder of Democracy and Operation Lotus Murdabad, Aam Aadmi Party MLAs slammed the Congress as well as the BJP for allegedly being hand in glove against the AAP Sarkar. Defiant, AAP calls for another special session, this time on September 27th. United Opposition slams government over unconstitutional posturing. BJP leaders take out a protest march to Chief Minister Bhagwant Man's residence. Police fire water cannons against protesters and detain BJP leaders. Growing dissent within Congress ahead of party polls. Gandhis face questions over free elections. G23 will be meeting in Delhi tomorrow. With the Congress presidential polls around the corner, party leader Rahul Gandhi said decisions including that of one man, one post taken at the Chintan Shivir at Udaipur in Rajasthan earlier this year must be followed. In a first indicator of leaders taking sides in the upcoming contest for top posts, senior Congress leader Gaurav Vallabh has voiced his support for Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, who many believe has the backing of current leadership as well. Congress has issued a notification for party's presidential elections. According to this, nominations can be filed between September 24th and 30th. BJP President JP Nadda has arrived in Madurai, meets eminent personalities from various fields and attends a public meeting in Karaikudi, Sivaganga. Delhi Police's special cell has arrested 2 key members of an international narcotics cartel from Bihar. Police have also seized 10 kilograms of heroin and 10 kg opium worth over 60 crore rupees. Union Health and Family Welfare Minister Mansukh Mandavia has said that Indian Red Cross Society is known for its work to help and aid humanity in times of need. Indian Navy is going to evaluate $5 billion tenders to buy 26 combat aircraft. This report of extensive trials of French Rafale and American F-18 planes is being examined. Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren holds high-level meeting with the DGP, Home Secretary and Chief Secretary. Senior police officials also present at the meeting, including Naxal-affected areas on law and order situation. Enforcement Directorate attaches dockyards, agricultural lands, commercial properties and bank deposits worth more than 2,747 crore rupees as a part of alleged bank loan fraud linked to a money laundering probe against ABG Shipyard Limited. The Varanasi court has issued a notice to the Muslim side on Hindu side's plea for carbon dating of the alleged shivling-like structure found in the mosque complex. The next hearing on September 29. BMC has denied permission to Uddhav Thackeray-led Shiv Sena as well as Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's faction to hold the Shehra rally at Shivaji Park. Permission has been denied on the basis of law and order issue that was raised by the Mumbai police. The Uddhav faction has approached court. India has hosted the 10th Ministerial Commission of Foreign Ministers of India, Brazil, South Africa Trilateral Cooperative Forum, grouping on the sidelines of 77th UNGA. Amit Rao over Punjab Governor withdrawing his assent to convene a special session of State Assembly. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has convened a meeting with all his legislators in the State Assembly to discuss party's future course of action and has decided to call for a fresh session. At least 4 people have been injured after a stampede broke out at Gymkhana ground in Hyderabad after a huge crowd of cricket fans gathered there to get tickets for India versus Australia match. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat has met several Muslim intellectuals including Chief Imam Dr. Imam Umar Ahmad Ilyasi. As per sources, issues like the hijab controversy, Gyanvapi and maintenance of peace and harmony among religions were discussed in the meeting. We will speak to Ilyasi in just a few minutes. A Delhi court has granted anticipatory bail to social media influencer Bobby Kataria in connection with a video showing him smoking inside a SpiceJet aircraft. The tenure of AIIMS Delhi director will come to an end on 23rd of September, and as per sources, name of Guleria's successor is to be announced soon. In a viral clash video from Uttar Pradesh's Mussoorie area, few boys were seen thrashing each other even after a car rammed into them. A few of them have been detained. You can see the visuals on your screen where there is a scuffle going on. There is a car that will come from behind and then ram into one of these protesters who gets thrown into the air. However, even after he comes on the ground, he dusts himself, gets up and again starts beating up the boy that he was fighting with initially. The principal of a primary school in Damdama was suspended after undistributed food grains for midday meals were found in the school due to an alleged carelessness on the part of the principal. 4 minor children have died and 2 others were injured when a portion of a wall in a house in Uttar Pradesh's Etawah collapsed. Chief Minister has expressed grief, announced a relief of 4 lakh rupees to the kin of deceased. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has launched the host city logo of FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup 2022. Chief Minister said that organizing this event in the state would give a major boost to sport and fitness. 3 passengers have been killed and 4 others were injured after a bus that they were travelling in overturned in Chhattisgarh's Jashpur district. All stranded vehicles and passengers have been rescued from Barlakha Pass on NH3 after being stuck due to icy roads. Manali-Leh NH3 was closed down for vehicular traffic because of heavy snowfall. Local train services in one of the central railway routes in Mumbai were disrupted due to a snag in signalling system. Some of the local trains were cancelled while others were delayed. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who is on a 10-day visit to the United States, met with his Estonian counterpart Urmas Reinsalu on 3rd day of 77th UNGA session. NH 109 in Rudraprayag district in Uttarakhand has been blocked after a sudden landslide. Travellers